We're here. Hello. Sorry.
Okay, so
Are you going to tell the story?
Are you going to start with this?
no, I talked about this. We've talked about this on the show about it.
But it got deeper last night because Andrea was interviewing Maisie about it, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing?"
What
and
did Maisie say?
Maisie says pint, and she says all of her teachers say pint.
Yeah. So it's not a thing. Okay.
But then Maisie also agreed that she didn't think your boys would lie to you because I go, well, they're not going to lie. Maisie's like, no, they'll never lie. They're good boys, and I'm like, I agree with that.
No, but they'll do what
I do. Mess with you?
Is they'll tell the truth they think is true.
So lying.
No, I think it's true.
We should have recorded this. This is hilarious.
It could be false,
So it's
but
true
I'm not lying.
Until you believe.
I believe it.
Yeah, but don't you say it doesn't matter if you believe stuff all the time?
Yeah, well, believing.
So it'd be like saying, I believe in God.
Yeah.
It's like, so.
And that doesn't matter. Yeah, but what I'm telling you is something that I believe to be true, but that's what everybody is telling you, right? It's like they
I tell you a lot of things I don't believe are true.
You believe
Oh,
it.
that's lying.
Yeah, no, I do. I lie.
You're a liar.
For jokes.
I'm not a liar.
I lie for jokes.
Okay, lying for jokes.
No,
is
I'm not.
joke.
I don't
Lying for
lie
jokes
when
is
you ask me
different,
real questions. I'll tell
Yeah.
you the truth for anything, literally
Oh, yeah,
anything.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I will lie.
Then that's a joke.
I
Yeah.
say a lot of crazy things that are not true.
Oh, yeah.
And it does drive Maisie crazy because Maisie will call me. She'll say what you're doing. She'll be like, well, that's not true. That's a lie.
My wife
and I'm like,
just
I'm
says-
joking.
She's telling stories, is what she says. I'm like, that's not the same thing.
So-
I'm with her. I like her.
Telling stories.
I
I'm like,
miss
get
her.
the
Tell
fuck
her
outta
I
here.
said hello. I like her.
So the thing we were talking
Yes.
about is that the boys again confirmed this thing
I love
where they claim that their teachers have taught them the word pint instead of pint for a term of a volume of water.
Yeah.
So instead of using the term pint, they pronounce it pint. And
It's very fancy.
The soft eye instead of the hard eye.
Max said that his teacher, then Tommy said,
Yeah, I heard it.
confirmed
I heard
that
it.
a different teacher has also taught him that thing.
I heard it.
Which I think Tommy's misremembering, and then this started from Max, and then it's just
So
Tommy's
he's
like,
just
oh,
going
yeah.
along with it to
Okay.
not disappoint Max?
Yeah.
So you're using
yeah.
your own brain math on Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
So-
Well, isn't there like an English rule about that? Like you're supposed to have like a hard eye after a vowel or something like that? Or
I have a hard eye
So-
right now.
So the reason why I believe this isn't true is that I looked it up because I was like, is it like a tomato type of thing where the
No.
pint
Who
pint?
says
I
tomato?
say pint.
No, but you
say
can't.
pint.
But
It's like aluminum and aluminium.
yeah, both are
Okay.
proper English. You could say tomato or tomato and be right. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm like, is pint or pint both right technically? Just more people use pint. I looked it up and it is not a thing.
But did you just go
Pint
on
is
Google
not a
and
thing.
say pronounce this word?
I looked it up.
I looked it up not
Yeah.
only on ChatGPT, which
It's not a
can't be
thing.
trusted, but I
No,
also
can't be
looked it up
trusted.
in Google, and then I took it one step further and went to the Little Brown Handbook, which is a book of like, it's like I used to
yeah.
use it in English class all the time, and it's not. There's no such thing as that.
And then I went further to theorize that there is no way a teacher
No way.
has been teaching the kids pint for more than 1 year or even one semester and not been called out on it by someone being like, hey, that's not right. You know, like you
Wait a
cannot
minute.
teach.
You need to call them out, and then what if you win
Yeah,
the
what if
prize?
it's-
But it's not,
No,
it can't be true.
What if you call them out and they're
I've
like,
already
aha,
wrote.
we knew you're the most active parents. You were the parents talking
Yes.
to your children,
Oh,
and
why
they'll
don't
shake
you,
our hands.
like schedule a meeting with this teacher.
Yeah.
No,
Like, definitely call him out.
I've already determined it's
Make
not
it
true.
a to-go-to show.
That's the only part I can't
Yeah,
get
I'm
on is the I've already determined part. Everything else,
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
on
we
board.
don't
yeah,
like.
yeah.
As
I-
soon as you're like,
well,
there's
at least-
positively no way this is not.
At least
happening.
I'll bet anybody that wants to bet. yeah.
Oh,
because
so it's game
I'll
we'd have
pay
to
you
have
if it's
some-
true.
but we-
If I ask
The
and
only
they're
way
like, I'm sorry, I've been pronouncing that
Will
wrong
you
for
call
years.
if you'll call the conference just for the bit? I'll bet.
Oh, for sure.
If you'll call the conference. But I don't think you'll call the conference. I'm calling your bluff.
I wouldn't call it a whole conference. I'd bring it up is that I'd email the teacher like, are there two ways to
I think
say
an email
pint?
would work. Would you take an email?
Oh, I don't know.
And I'd be
I
like,
wanted
I'm like,
face to face
if-
or at least Zoom.
I'll say
I
my
would
video.
rather face to face or Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want
And
to
a phone
waste
call. I could definitely
The
lie
last
on the
thing
phone
these
call.
fucking educators need is us wasting their time for
Yeah,
a
this is a
radio.
waste of time.
Yeah, I know. My
Because-
mom's a teacher, so
Because again, there's no way that this teacher has been saying pint and no one's ever brought it up. and
Robert,
no-
we asked Maisie. We did. And she said pint. But then she
Yeah,
also
no one else has heard of
she
this.
also agreed that Max and Tommy would not lie to their mom and dad because I was like, well, are they just screwing around? And she's like, they won't do that.
They're misremembering or something, or they don't pay attention, just like their old man.
Now that I believe, right? Like, no, you can get on board with that.
Every time EJ's
You're
talking,
independent. I know you can get on board.
I
with that.
immediately switch my ears off and then start thinking about, man, I'd say this a lot better. And then I think about like what I got to do today. And then I was like, oh, I got to remind him to ask to borrow his kayak again because I want to go see that glowing water.
Hey, if you want.
Glowing water. All right.
And I don't want to buy one because
my
it
God.
junk up my goddamn backyard.
Oh yeah, we're
I could
cleaning out.
probably get you a good deal. I
We
think
just
Andrew's
cleared out our
dad's got a
storage
couple
unit.
more for sale. You want some?
No, I don't want to store them. Then I'm there. I need. I'm making my backyard nice, and I have no room in my garage. And
Well, I mean,
then
aren't you countdown to chicken coop? 3, 2, 1, boom.
No,
right?
Oh,
no,
man.
I'll hedge
Oh, you
that.
should
That's
see the
horrible.
emails I got about that. Did you know?
Oh yeah, people were talking about
Did
digging
you
eggs out of
know?
his ass.
Did you know? Did you know? And did you know that a chicken once a year or twice? This guy said sometimes in upwards of 3 times a year, an egg will get stuck in a chicken's cloaca,
Yeah.
and then the chicken won't be able to poop. So then you can wait it out, but then eventually when the chicken does take a shit, it will be the size of a dinosaur shit, and it will
Oh,
smell,
no.
and
No,
it will
it's-
smell acidic to high heaven, and you'll have to go hose it off.
You're
you
mixing
poke it?
two different stories because I read this well, so I could tell Crystal. And,
Okay.
But
I'm
one
good at mixing stories.
One is egg won't come out, and then you'll have to like manually squeeze it out. And then 2,
You kill that chicken.
Yeah.
every once in a while, the chicken will lay the egg and then have some weird shit where it wants to like sit on it and like nest it
For
or
like
whatever.
weeks
Keep it,
or
And then
days or
and it
something.
won't shit for like a full month, and then once it gets off the egg, it'll do a mega stinky smell shit and
I
stink
like
up
that
your
it's
whole
a mega shit.
Mega sticky shit.
and then it'll
Aditi mega doo doo.
it'll stink up your whole backyard, and it's the most rancid
But he
thing.
did say
Oh.
you just squirt it a little bit, it'll go away.
Yeah, yeah.
He said for that first day it stinks.
All this to save 39 cents on an egg. I don't give a fuck.
Just name the first chicken Poo Poo Dusty.
Hey baby. All right, would you like to start?
And by the way, Tommy is like 8 days in already in
Oh
the
yeah.
50-day
How many
challenge.
days? 50 days?
Yeah,
So it's
which-
42 to go.
It's push-ups, right? What is he doing?
He's getting better at his push-up form, which
Nice.
I wanted to keep going because
Yeah.
he's remembering. He's like, oh yeah, I got to do push-ups.
Well,
and
tell
then
him you'll just kill the chickens if he doesn't finish the push-ups.
He doesn't
He's
have the
gonna win
chickens
'em.
yet.
Keep
He
him
wants to
alive.
get 'em.
So what I've thought about is I'm gonna let this go till about like right around
38, 39.
Yeah, right before
Right
it
about
hits
there.
40.
Yeah.
Because 10 days is a lifetime to him. But it's I know like if he's done it this far, he's gonna
He's gonna
get to
keep
the
going, yeah.
chickens, and then I'll hedge it with a payoff. With a goldfish and $200. I gotta think about everything. I've already
You're 3 steps ahead.
This is what
like Nikocado avocado. Always 3.
I don't think about my family. I don't think about
Just gambling and
my
hedging
friends.
bets.
Just ways to cheat your
Like
your
Dan-
sons out of their
What they really want.
What they really
Yeah.
want.
Like Daniel will remember friends' birthdays or like hey, how was your trip to Greece? I don't remember nothing. I'll think
remembered
about how
a
to
family
hedge.
member's birthday. I was like, hey, it's I don't want to say. I was like, hey, it's such and such birthday. He's like, oh, really?
I think about how to hedge out of all my bets.
I like that. I like that actually.
I have a hedge for everything, including an asteroid. That's a bullet. All right, let's start.
That's Daniel's
Oh, I
joke.
love it. All right, Hedge McMahon. Would you like to start?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out with us because podcasts are now just TV shows on YouTube. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live. Come hang out and see what's going on in our world. You can participate. Get our free app. Just go to tomanddan.com.
We also have the Just Call Mo Skate-a-thon going on this Saturday. There's still a little bit of room if you want to register. You have to be pre-registered
Not
to
much
go.
room, though. It's a little bit of room.
Yeah, and it's at justcallmo.com/skate. fill out the waiver before you get there
Yeah.
because Mo has rented out a Cimarron Skateway for 2 hours from 5 to 7. Get there a little bit early because, like I said, just 2 hours completely free. The rentals are free.
How many people do you think have filled out that waiver online? Because according to my document here, none. And I've said it.
Well, I didn't even do it.
I know I've said it 200 times.
Yeah,
You got to do it.
I've said it at least 200 times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I haven't even done
I'll just show up.
it. Yeah, I'm just going to show up.
a
I'm
half
gonna
an
do it
hour
on my
late.
phone. and try to pinch zoom.
I'm going to get there late. I'm going to stand in line. I'm going to be like, this is BS.
Yeah, then
I
I'll
should be in there
get started skating at
If only-
6:30.
There should have been a better way.
Then I'll go to Yelp and be like, Mo, I showed up a half an hour late.
This
I
is
didn't
BS.
do anything.
Yeah, he should have had the form online.
I didn't get my free stuff.
Yeah, this is probably Bustegger's fault. Where's my free sweatshirt with a Mexican Mo on it?
EJ's here. How you
What's
doing?
going on, guys? How you doing today?
Pretty
Oh,
good.
it's working.
Let's
There we
play
go.
his song. Get ready, everybody. Put on your dancing pants.
Oh, a new one.
Big fat guy, little bitty cock. Does he even try? We know that he does not. No jock, tiniest cock on the whole damn block. No jock, big fat guy, itty bitty cock.
Hey, 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 hey. Can you imagine the crowd? The crowd at Bonnaroo? Everybody's just jumping. We're just grabbing the air. Oh, my God.
I'm throwing cakes at it.
I blew my headphones off. Okay,
I
there
was
we
going
go.
to throw a cake at someone.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you throw a cake at me, buddy. Play your cards right.
How you doing, EJ?
Good. How you doing? I got a new car. Was excited about that.
Oh, yeah. What kind of car?
Got a Chevy Equinox EV.
Oh, did you go to
Hey.
Don
Brand
Millen
new.
That's called the Seth.
I promised myself I wouldn't do it, and when I saw the opportunity, I had to do it. I have to ruin my own job.
You're ruining your own business. And I knew you were going to do it. In fact, when you said you went to Tampa to get the car, I said in my pea brain, I was
Tom's
like,
gonna do it.
I go, Tom's going to do it. And you know what? That's why I'm confident with you. That's why I love you. I can tell him I love
I'm
him. Like,
crying.
I'm confident in this job because I knew
Yeah.
that the ship, I'm like, the captain's away from the helm. No need. He already knows where this boat's going.
Hooper drives the
Right.
boat.
He knows
He's
exactly-
driving towards the waterfall.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm a good like engineer because I'm like, are we going to the waterfall? I'm like, better put on my life preserver because I'm going over the waterfall.
It calls me.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Siren
it.
call.
I want you set me on the railing like a child.
right.
Set me
Oh,
on the
Tom's
railing on a
Odysseus.
Disney cruise, and I'll fall over with you, Daddy.
So let's start off with sports.
Let's start with sports.
Any,
You want to talk about the Dolphins trade? Do you think it's a good trade or do you think it's a bad trade?
Well, first, okay, I'll start with this.
like all the mess of that.
When it hit, everybody's like, "That's a bad trade for Steelers," and then immediately it switched to like, "That's a great trade for Steelers." So
Well,
pretty
what
good
is
trade
it?
for the
Anytime
Steelers.
we get a player that retired to become a rapper, it's a good sign.
Well, he retired because he didn't want to be the Giants anymore. I understand that.
That's not the story I saw. And then we're like, oh, yeah, you know, we'll get that guy that retired. He literally said, I quit. That's the guy we want. So
It's like the Dolphin side D-Rug.
So I saw that trade. It's so hard because I'm like, you know, these guys know better. What the hell do I know?
Yeah.
You know, they didn't want to pay Jalen Ramsey, so that's part
Jalen
of it.
Ramsey was on his way out anyways. He's like, I don't
Yeah.
want to be here anymore.
Yeah, he
He's-
had said that.
Yeah, he already said that.
Yeah, he's older. I have no idea. There's all this speculation. People want to write these, talk about these narratives. That's
Was
all
it-
I listen to.
What was it? Ramsey, Jonte Smith?
Yeah.
What was their
Yeah.
other? What was the other person?
And so we traded Jalen Ramsey, Johnny Smith, and we got back Fitzpatrick, that's the name, right? The
think you're right.
safety.
Yeah.
And which we had.
We had him
traded
before,
the
yeah.
Steelers. He hasn't had a.
You want to be out of there because Brian Flores was horrible.
He hasn't had a good couple of past seasons.
But
so
he's
it's
considered
like,
a good player, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but it's like, you know, he had 2 low seasons this past year with the Steelers. And it's one of these things where it's like, it's not going to make any difference. You know, so all this makes 0 difference.
It's not an all-in kind of trade.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I'm done with trying to speculate what teams are trying to do. And like, oh, this team's trying to tank this year to get a new quarterback. So stop saying that. That makes no difference. Look at I've been following this for a decade
We
pretty
might
closely.
hit maximum frustration today.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
But if I
Well,
have
this
to
is off season, so
if-
it's kind of easy.
if I have to hear one more person say say, "Oh, you should tank and get the #1 draft pick so we can get a franchise QB."
It doesn't do anything.
What are
It's
you
not a guarantee.
saying?
No.
Get the hell out of here with
Oh,
that.
it's
I'm
absolutely
done with
not a
that.
guarantee.
No, never is a guarantee.
And so, but it's not even 50-50. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you have a 90% chance. It's like, it seems like there's a huge chance that there's just a nothing. Or you get some sort of Bryce Young that, looks like garbage for 2 years, and now it's like, maybe he looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 3 years in. It's
Well,
like,
he went from a 2 years looking bad to instantly like, oh, now he's the guy to like,
Yeah.
oh, well, hold on, maybe not.
Oh,
Well, what is that all about?
and I love when he figured it out. Figured what out?
That's the part that's gonna drive him crazy.
I hate all
It's
this.
like there's
I know you
22
do.
other players on the team that matter. Wow.
Oh, he's got good weapons. Oh, get the hell out of here. I'm done. I bet money on this, and it's all PS. Anyway, speaking of betting, have you heard about the
let's hear the
betting
betting.
controversy?
Yeah, let's go into it.
Yes,
a
let's hear
little
about
bit.
that. I haven't
Okay,
read too much about it.
so there's two players, Malik Beasley and Jonte Porter. And
You're talking about the NBA betting deal, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And so one's a reserve center for the Raptors, and one played on a different team. I forgot what team he plays
Detroit, I thought.
on. Detroit last year.
I
This
thought
is
it was
all-
the Pistons.
I think I remember hearing a little
and
bit about
and
this,
man,
yeah.
I just want to be on record as saying that there were people that called this. There are people that are like,
that's
oh,
going
this
to
is-
happen.
This
As
is
soon
going
as
to happen. It's
DraftKings
coming.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like details exactly of what happened aren't out. Right. So what this tells me is I'm speculating that this is not a Pete Rose betting on himself. First of all, that's a nothing. You always bet on yourself.
doing
Like
that anyways,
you
yeah.
know, saying so the problem is tanking on purpose to shave points. You know, like the
Or
refs
knowing
were
that you're
doing
not even going to play this game. That was part of it.
inside
Yeah.
information. So. Inside information in the stock world is illegal, right?
Yep.
Martha Stewart
Stewart.
went to jail for literally just telling a friend, like, "Oh, I wouldn't, I'd pull out of this, like
We got a bad quarter last quarter.
a passing comment while she was on vacation."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what she went to jail for to a friend because she had insider information,
Yep.
and they have
And she wouldn't snitch.
they have outlawed this. Really, what she went to jail for is
She wouldn't turn in everyone else, yeah.
obstruction or lying,
Right.
like contempt.
Yeah.
Right? She went to jail for contempt. They never actually got her for the insider trading, but they take insider trading really seriously in the stock market because one person could know knowledge
Yeah.
that literally could benefit them and all their friends, and then the average Joe doesn't
Gets
have
screwed
that
over,
information
yeah.
and gets screwed over because we're late to the game. And guess what? This happens all the time, even though it is illegal. This is still happening. I
You
mean,
try to do it all the time when you get people coming in here.
this happens with politicians.
That's funny.
There's some kid that a college guy that made an app that you could follow how politicians invest
Vote,
their money.
yep.
No, not vote.
And I mean,
invest their money.
invest,
So
yeah.
you can invest with politicians because the theory being they know and have insider information on
That's
stuff.
why they're rich currently.
Yeah. And even if the information is public, they know no one's digging into some law that you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like if it's not on social media or on like what you're following, you don't know about
Yeah.
it. Anyway, so back to insider information. So in the sports world, as gambling gets more and more popular, all these players have insider information. Like
Oh, yeah.
I've been thinking of ways for years to get it from Orlando City. Like I'm like, who do I know that could give me some sort of like, hey, we're like, everybody thinks Messi's coming to Orlando and playing, but he's not. I heard at a meeting about it. And then from there, like the line could be inflated by a half point in the MLS, right? And that half point of value, if you spread
enough.
it, is enough to
Yeah.
give. And people aren't talking win or lose. Like it's hard to bet absolutes, right? But getting a half point of value because Messi isn't playing and the market does think he's playing, right? And you're not betting gigantic, and you can't bet that gigantic, but you go to a betting syndicate and that could be worth $20,000. And who knows this? Some intern that works for Orlando City. So what do they got to lose? Then they know information. Some betting syndicates already pay people inside organizations for this information.
Yeah.
Like they find a ball boy or someone that, hey, like, I saw DK Metcalf, icing his foot after practice today, and that's all you need. Like,
Yeah,
and
just
that,
a little bit of information.
and that betting syndicate pays you $5,000. and then cash or
So how
something.
did they figure out that Beasley was
Here's-
involved?
I heard the story, yeah.
Involved in this because I
Okay.
know the
You got it?
rebound thing.
Okay.
I heard the
It
story
was about
the
rebounds. Yeah, over on rebounds.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's how.
Yeah.
And this is why this is going to it can't happen for long periods of time, and it's harder and harder to get away with. And so this is what happens.
And
so,
then I have one more big question at the end.
okay, and I know this is all I follow and all I research. So like, this is my
No, I
hobby.
trust you. Yeah,
so
no, I
you know,
got
this is not just coming from me
You're just
making
happy
it up.
that it's something to do.
This is his happy place.
Yeah, I
folks.
know.
So how they get caught is all the sports books, they all have computer systems and software and now AI and stuff. And then the software, all of a sudden, and they can't monitor everything, right? And it used to be way easier to get away with this longer. But now because of computer software and AI, it's harder.
And
because
is this a digital paper trail of
Yeah,
some
it's
sort?
like an
Is-
outlier.
So all
is
of a
what shows up.
all of a sudden someone and this can happen for months, and then someone's like, wait a minute, someone's betting a lot of money on the over-under of rebounds, and like it's spread across because the syndicates have a bunch of runners and people and outs in different books that they can
Spread
get
the
down a
money
lot of
around,
money.
yeah.
Because you can't bet that much on one book, right? So you spread it out through dozens of people and dozens of different casinos and sports books or whatever. But each sports book is like, hey, I've been losing, and they contact each other because it's advantageous for them.
Yeah.
And they're like, you
Setting the lines together.
you
and make
losing money
sure-
on
yeah.
Toronto rebounds too? Like, oh yeah. And guess
Gaming books are very much like crab captains. They all
No,
communicate.
where the honey hole is.
it's
Yeah.
all digital too.
Yeah.
Like it used to be harder when it was cash and tickets and stuff.
Take
Yeah.
longer too.
And they could all communicate, and all of a sudden they have this paper trail of like, man, we have been hammered on Toronto Raptors unders and rebounds,
Yeah.
and for the past month we've
Yeah.
lost 20,000.
Yeah, this one they said that I guess the quote here is that his it was alleged gambling activity, and where it flagged, they said it was rebound totals that deviated significantly from normal odds from January and then on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and also the math will tell you like it should be this.
Yeah.
Based on how we, the numbers will ebb and flow too, based on betting. So those numbers change as people, but that's based on thousands of
Yeah, a
bets.
bunch of people
bets
betting.
come in.
Yeah.
And they're like, why is the syndicate betting so much, or why is this? So
Usually there's only $2,000 in this guy. Why is there $5,000 on him today?
the numbers will get flagged, just
Yeah.
like taxes or whatever. How people
Yeah.
get flagged with taxes and stuff like that, and then they'll go to the Raptors and like, hey, you got an information leak, or one of your players or someone's, and then
What's
they
going on over there?
Then they
Yeah.
started the investigation,
Investigation, yeah.
and then for the player, and I've said for years, it's not worth it for a player to get paid. I'll pay you $5 million to throw this game or something like that. But the player's just like telling some person casually or
Yeah, I'm
whatever.
probably not playing tonight, so you don't want to bet on me.
Yeah, or like
Yeah, but his
and
seems
if-
different
flippant.
because they're saying this guy's in upwards of what's the $650,000 in debt. Like he was also, they're saying that he was on track for a 3-year, $42 million contract. Why jeopardize
why
that
jeopardize it for that,
by
yeah.
even entertaining anything? Like, why not stay
Well,
clean?
Because you think you'll never get caught, because what you're doing doesn't even seem. At first,
Yeah.
it's not illegal.
You're just hooking up your friends. You're just
Be-
telling them,
be-
hey.
because
okay.
there is no insider trading in sports betting, but it's the same thing, but it's not illegal yet. You
Yeah.
can get sued for it, like especially like the books can technically, they
you
could
get blacklisted.
not
They
even
won't let you bet on them
not even
anymore.
blacklisted, but they'll sue you for cheating.
Yeah.
And they've won before, so they'll get the money back if they prove that you had an advantage that wasn't fair in the in the books. And if you have the money, unless you didn't spend it, then maybe you'd have to pay it back. But other than that, it's like it's so flippantly easy to have this information that would be valuable to someone it doesn't seem like there's any sort of victim here, because the victim's the casino. Who cares about does anybody feel bad for
No.
casinos? They will always make money. They never not make
Well,
money.
isn't the victim though?
Yeah.
I'd say the victim. There's also a victim in the league in gameplay, because you're not getting players playing their
Yeah.
best. If you're if you're shaving rebounds off or changing the ideology behind how you play, then the game is ruined.
But that's not different. That's different than like actually shaving or like missing on purpose. I don't think they're doing that. They're just knowing information that other people don't know that changes the odds on like of how you're betting.
Yeah. If you know the game plan, they could say, okay, we're planning on double teaming this guy, so he's going to have less shots for sure. So let's bet against his shot totals.
If you know what the coaches are planning, and even what the coaches has planned for you, like, hey, we're not putting you into fourth quarter, we're resting you, or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Like just that small bit of information that's not valuable to anybody is super valuable to a giant sports syndicate. And all you'd have to do is just tell them now whether or not they're paying you.
Well, he's done now, so he's ruined his life.
He has.
Great job, buddy. Great job.
But guess what? This is happening
all the time.
Because it's so, again.
At every different level, as long as there's betting on the games.
Well, then we're probably going to see more sports stars fall then, And depending on how big they are, will they get in trouble? I still think Shohei Ohtani was involved in that baseball scandal from last year.
Oh, for sure.
But we'll never find out.
His translator took the dive for that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, he's smart enough to not realize that, and it depends. These guys aren't stars. See, like
and that's perfect for you.
So
but they're already claiming they're gonna crack down on this more of this and in college. And I think they should. I think it ruins the game. I know you love your betting and everything, and I don't want to take anything away from you because I know you love it.
Yeah.
But I do think it gets a little stinky when we get this in the game. It's just kind of. I'm like, God.
Well, there's a reason why they kept gambling out of sports
for
so long.
This just
for this
stinks
very
it all
reason.
up, man. This doesn't make it better. This makes it like weird.
See, but this whole thing, you're only taking advantage of the sports books, unless the players are actually shaving some sort of points or changing their game. But
you're changing the focus. The game, if you're a player, you're not supposed to be even mired in any of this. You're supposed to be worrying about your rebounds and playing, not any of the betting or being involved in any of that.
Well, some of like this one dude, the Raptors dude, is a reserve player anyway, so he's not even playing. He's just,
which one is that?
Is
that
Porter?
Jonte Porter? Yeah, he's banned for life. He's done.
Yeah, they banned him for life. But I'm saying
they're still investigating Beasley.
He wasn't even playing. I'm not don't know too much of the NBA.
He can't shave points if he's not playing. But he knows the game plan, and he knows like what we're gonna do as.
I guess is this what we want? I guess. So we got our betting. Here we are.
Yeah, they've been doing this forever. So what's the difference?
Here's my theory on what's gonna happen. Which is it would be interesting if it does. Them trying to make insider information or you passing it along or benefiting in it in any way illegal because it is not illegal. Like you go to jail for stocks insider information, just like Martha Stewart did. You will not go to jail. You get kicked out of the league or you get whatever. But
it's a civil penalty now.
You get sued. So
I'd make it a criminal penalty. But why not?
But
then you got the freedom of speech implements of it too.
And again, all you're doing is protecting the sports books.
Yeah.
And the people with the most money.
He does have a point with the league.
Wouldn't freedom of speech only covers you like if you're playing in my league, shut your damn mouth.
Yeah.
If you don't want to shut your mouth, you can leave the league. Well, that's what I would say.
You can't get arrested for it. That's the difference.
I'm saying the difference between legal and then
criminal and civil are different. When it comes to freedom of speech.
And so right now it's like then it would make players like super tight-lipped about anything because they're I can't tell you because right now, man, if I knew any player in the league that was close enough to me to give me any inside information, like you could seriously make good money doing that.
Sure, yeah.
And good money, I mean like
just a little bit of tip of the scale.
$5,000 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Just get a job. just work hard. Just get a job and work hard.
Yeah,
why? Everyone else is benefiting off stuff like this. Why can't I just get a free payday?
The sports books are
They're making me money off me all the time.
Yeah, they're giving me horrible odds too.
They're not making money off of me. I don't even go in that world. I'm not a gambler.
They are bending me over, giving me horrible odds.
And they know he has an addiction. They're taking advantage of him. It's our chance to take advantage of them.
They're giving me bad odds.
But the identity of the entire hobby is bent over. That's the position you started.
Yeah, you're supposed to
but it doesn't have to be that way.
It should be fair game, shouldn't it?
Well, then you're chasing nothing. Then if they're giving you good odds, then it takes all the fun away.
Here's the government needs to regulate it and make it more fair for the people and make horrible odds
the government
illegal.
needs to stay out of everything.
Let's just face it, there's lobbyists that make sure that they.
Well, they're going to be on their side. See what I'm saying? And we, the people, get screwed. I'm going to tattoo that on my arm. Anyway.
What else you got?
I just want all that to say we, the people.
Well, did you hear the Magic signed? What's his name? Paolo.
Well, I mean,
to an extension.
I think we maxed out his rookie
out,
deal.
super max almost.
Yeah, and like 5 years.
But he
which
has to
is
get an
great.
MVP or Defensive Player of the Year or All NBA team, and he can have a super max.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
a max contract or whatnot.
I think he can do that. Like I think they set him up nicely. I think
They set the big three up for the next 5 years. They're locked in. We got
Suggs and Franz Wagner
Yeah.
and Paolo Banchero will be here for the next 5 years, so we got them.
Yeah.
Then they brought in, was it Trey Jones as a new point guard who was with the Suns. He's been there 10 years.
Yeah.
He's really good, and we'll bring some of that more veteran point guard, and some three-point shooting that we needed. Then we got Bane. We've been spending money, man.
They're going all in. I'm excited about the Magic.
I've never rooted for a team that's ever done something like this. I'm an Arsenal supporter. We don't spend any money. We never have.
Well, Magic never have.
Probably. You're
on
right.
free agency,
You're right.
we let people go
This
for
is the
free
biggest
agency.
we probably ever have.
buy
Yeah.
'em.
This is the biggest we probably have ever shelled out money.
This is where insider trading would have helped us because if we would have known that the Magic facility, if someone is like, hey, we're about to spend some money this offseason or, on these players.
Put it on the playoff
And
run for the
we
Magic.
got the big
Yeah,
coach. The chat room reminded me, Sham God.
We could have got
Big
them
development coach.
Oh, I'm
to
glad I
win
didn't
the
try that name.
division at minus 150. Now they're minus 275
Yeah.
on Hard Rock.
Didn't
And
get in at the right
Daniel's like,
time.
hey, I want to bet on the Magic to win the division. I'm like, well, it's already
Yeah,
the
it's done.
money's
It's
already
already
gone
gone. Yeah,
because
well,
all this is already
odds,
public.
yeah.
That's why I don't bet. Too slow. Too slow to bet.
Well, we need to know before. That's the key. Anyway.
We had some signs when they released Mo Wagner and Caleb Houston. It did. Those are especially Mo. Like everybody was like, "What?" And we should have said, "No, this is all part of the plan."
Yeah.
And that's when we should have
Yeah,
done
no,
it.
that's it.
Yeah,
Now
that's
you're
what we
learning.
have done. All right,
Now
I'm
you're
trying.
learning.
I'm trying.
Read the signs.
All right, what else you got, AJ?
Okay. How much time do we got? Do we got a lot of time?
Yeah,
or
you
just,
got
okay.
time. Hit it.
Well, we was going to talk about fantasy football, but are you raised? What are you guys planning for this fantasy football season?
To win?
Okay.
I mean,
I know. Isn't Sophie still in here?
Okay, well, first,
I never go in with a plan because that's how I won 2 years ago.
it's our 20th year.
Oh my
This
God.
year
Yeah.
that we have the same fantasy football league that we started with back at the radio station.
A long time.
With Matt, SBK.
Yeah.
And
SBK's doing fish now. I saw.
then, what do you mean doing
He's
fish?
like he was selling seafood
Where at?
on Facebook.
Hey, don't be saying you're spreading rumors. You'll be spreading rumors, and
I was
the
excited
heat
for
comes
him.
to us. They're like, Tom and Dan.
They're
Some guy
talking
got
us.
out there and said, "Soul Brother Kevin selling roadside fish on Facebook."
Racist.
The hell are you
How is
talking
that
about?
racist?
Somehow it's racist. You tell me.
When you say,
I didn't
when
mention
you,
it was-
when you
I was
say
excited
that,
for him. He always used to love seafood. He would always.
Yeah,
tell
I
me,
know.
like,
Yeah, but I didn't
But he's,
know.
what do you mean he's selling it on Facebook?
That's what I saw in one of the
Like he's like, I got
notifications.
this fish. like who wants
Come
it?
on, ladies.
What do you mean?
Come on, ladies.
There what-
I am not crazy. I know this.
What
happened.
kind?
Very, very fresh.
Is
1
he-
pound
is-
fish.
Is it through some sort of service? Is he literally holding it up saying
It's very, very good. 1 pound fish.
Venmo, I'll put it in the mail.
Do your boys sing 1 pound fish? Me and Macy sing 1 pound fish.
To our Fish Market LLC.
Okay, did he start a fish business?
I think
What's
so.
his fish business?
Our Fish Market LLC.
Okay. Shout out to
Yeah.
Soul Brother Kevin's.
Kevin
Our-
Coswell had invited you to like Our Fish Market LLC.
I'll
I
support
assumed that it was
Maybe he
his
doesn't. He
thing.
probably don't want us talking about it.
I'm giving him free advertising.
Yeah, he didn't want us talking about it because he put the funk on it. We put the bad mojo on it.
He's like, I thought I got away from you guys years ago.
He said,
Quit bothering
I've
me."
been ignoring your texts
Yeah.
for so
Well, he only
long.
texts
He's like,
me
get
when
the
he
hell
wants me
away
to do
from
his draft picks
Quit-
for
yeah.
fantasy football anyways.
Quit trying to give me a radio show.
Quit sniffing around my fish, mother effer.
Quit-
Get your nose out of my fish. God damn.
All right, so what?
Okay, the last story I have. I gotta delicately do this. I said this one to Daniel last week to
I
make
thought
sure
you
we could talk
weren't
about
going
it.
to do it.
Well, you said we could work around it.
Okay, as long as you just don't
Yeah,
say the
just
word.
don't say the word, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it about the old man?
Kinda.
Win.
I'm so close to saying it. I don't know what I have to lose. I have nothing to lose.
Okay, so the Buffalo Sabres drafted this guy. His name is Radim Mrtka. MRTKA is his
Okay,
last name.
Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo Sabres is their first round draft pick.
Okay.
And, okay, the reason why I brought this up is he has a very distinct nickname. Let's say that.
And is it because of the reason I think it
Because
is?
his name is very close to the Czech word for it. It's the number 4, right? Is that what the number is for you guys?
He's saying, okay,
No,
a 1 is
one
a
is
1,
P.
a 2
Yeah,
is a
I know,
2.
I know what
Yeah.
number 4 is.
A
I was
3.
trying to think of his name. Jisman?
Close. It's Mr. and the C word.
Mr. C word.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his
All right.
name in Czech is the only difference is it's a D instead of a K. I mean a D instead of a T.
Okay, all right.
So it's Mrtka and Mrdka.
All right,
in
okay.
Czech.
Don't say that then.
So this
This guy's a moron.
I don't know
that's
the exact rules.
so that's the story?
Yes, that is the story.
Yeah.
That's
Hard-hitting sports
I thought
reporting.
you would love that. What's your favorite nickname in sports? That's my new favorite one.
I'll
for
get.
sure.
Look, you wanted my sports story?
Yeah.
Okay, I saved a sports story
Okay,
because I
okay.
knew EJ was going to be
Oh,
here.
come
Okay,
on.
he's gonna
Because
ruin it.
I knew he was going to need one. All right. Okay. Have you heard so Stefon Diggs, he is or is not dating Cardi B. I guess they are on again, off again all the time.
All right.
Have you heard the rumor that reportedly Stefon Diggs has started about Cardi B?
No.
No.
It's that her BBL, which is a Brazilian butt lift, stinks.
What do you mean this stinks?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'm going to put up allow me to put the graphic up on the screen. I knew you'd laugh at this. I knew you would laugh at this. All right, I found this. This is from
This is way better than Mr. Cum.
this is
I knew I could make that story funny.
this is from
Took a minute.
Facebook. This is from Facebook. So apparently the rumor is that her BBL stinks, and then Kenya Cannon Bailey on Facebook says it's called the sit down air. so when your Brazilian butt lift stinks, it's called sit down air. It's when you wear tight fitting clothing and it increases occurrences of sweat and
moisture in there, yeah.
bacteria. You got to wash frequently and wear loose fitting clothing to avoid this happening. And then other people say that like her incisions, the claim is that her butt lift is now she got a stinky butt lift. There you go. Okay, there's it.
So where is it coming from? Like
From
Bacteria?
the incisions.
Yeah.
from the incision.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but once the incision is healed, then
Yeah, but they're
there'll be
claiming
no-
the incision won't heal because you have to wear loose clothing and heal,
Yeah.
like not wear tight clothing. And she's gonna be like all the sit down
It's
air.
swampy is
Yeah,
what it is.
Swampy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I thought that there was some sort of reason the actual implant like emits some sort of
No.
odor
Yeah, this
through your
person,
skin.
Vina
How it is.
Thompson-
It's under your muscle, right?
Vina Thompson
Yeah.
says, no, it's not fishy and it doesn't smell rotten like they be saying. It just smell like unclean ass.
That's her ass.
And rightfully so.
It's like fat people that don't like wash their folds.
Like people
That's what it is.
only take
It's the same thing.
wash-ups. That's the best way I can describe it. Every single one had the same scent since they sit down with the hot air out their legs. There you go.
Is this the doctor talking?
Yeah, that's
were they educated at Cambridge?
Oh man, I
Why
love
would he
that.
say that?
Why would Stefon Diggs say that?
yeah, why would he let that out?
Now it is.
You know what they
Okay, there is a theory behind this.
They've
There's
been
a
on
theory that
podcasts.
he didn't say anything about this, and that people just get online, claim he says it, and then the internet just runs wild with
it's
it.
crazy.
So more than likely, Stefon Diggs did not comment. Why would you say that? You ain't gonna say that about Cardi B. And
No.
chances are
Yeah.
her BBL does not stink. But what a crazy that was the
Well, I
first
just learned
story
something
popped
new.
up on my
Sit-down
Reddit.
air.
The sit down air comes out of your. Well, you sit there. It's like. Comes out right out of your BBL.
I have a theory about sports podcasts and them not existing in the
another story.
future because all I get in my thread is like sports stars saying something like a quote, like their face and then their quote, and it's always some like an hour into some podcast with their friends, a sports podcast, right? So they get comfortable, they're hanging out, maybe even having a couple
And they
beers,
say
in
something they
off-season,
shouldn't.
and they say something.
And that's when we killed the kid.
It happened with Gronk the other day, like the other
Did
day,
we
at
finally
beginning
get the
of summer.
BB Jones? Did we finally get the BB
No,
Jones reveal?
but he said something like Aaron Hernandez
Hernandez
was
yeah.
doing in like team meetings, and he said it like and I actually heard the clip, and then it was like once you put it in text, in big white text, and then like in front of your football card picture, it's like, oh God, I don't want this out here. But it was like a passing kind of joke with his friends on a podcast. But
He's
then
a gay murderer.
But then then it gets spread all the internet, and Gronk's like, oh, what a pain in the ass. Now everybody's talking to me, and now I can't get rid of this. So I'm like, I'm not saying this stuff anymore. Like, I'm not saying this stuff. And then this happened with another like a big sports. Oh, Travis Kelce. He said on some sports podcast that he can't read very well.
Oh, I laughed at that one.
Yeah.
And then
and then like, Travis Kelce can't read.
Frank Gore for years.
But I thought he followed it up with like I don't like he said
because
something.
on SNL he was saying that it was hard for him to read the cue cards at SNL, which would be hard for us all. I think we all laugh with our Florida education. And standing on SNL,
it would be easy for me.
Okay,
I'll put it out there.
All right,
if you gave me cue cards, I'll rip right through. I can't say Sotheby's, but I can read a damn cue card.
Well, for the 90% of the other audience, if you stood on SNL and you had to read cue cards in your opening monologue, like it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah,
you're nervous. You're like, this is a weird thing to do.
But he was saying he couldn't. Why do you even say that? He was like, me can't read well. No. Me ain't never had a real bed before.
Is that Seth?
I don't know. It's just like, why would you even say that? You don't even like.
He said it in a past. He's like, hey, I can't read. He's probably self-deprecating, making fun of himself because like football players are
lowering
dumb.
the standard.
And then, but that quote now makes the all media, ESPN, Adam Schefter's, you know what I'm saying? And then,
Mr. Swift can't read.
So you make some joke and now it follows you as a pain in your ass. So like, I bet a lot of these sports stars are gonna be like that. Well,
I bet Taylor Swift clowned him about not being able to read. Right?
It's like not worth it. So now it's his business because he's part of a podcast business. So, he's a little bit different. But all these other guys are just doing their friends' sports podcasts. Like, they're going to be like, I'm not going to tell you, like, my time with Bill Belichick and what he did, like, because I don't want this all over. And you guys are profiting from it. I'm not, all that's happening to me is a pain in my ass.
Yeah, boy, he shut down his girlfriend, didn't he? They were in the media a lot, and Bill's like, you got to cool out.
Yeah.
You got to chill. We got to chill. We got to hide.
Well, it'll be big. It'll be big the first week of college football, though.
It will be big.
Imagine how much attention and money that he brought to UNC.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if he did this all on purpose just to make, because I'm not even joking. All this attention's worth $50 million.
Yeah.
His decisions.
It might be more.
Brought $50 million worth of attention to
North Carolina football program. Because most people knew him for basketball most of the time.
Everybody's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because guess what? We're going to be watching UNC games, and we're going to be waiting for her to be shown in the stands.
Yep.
Boo! It's Taylor Swift
all over again.
Yeah, she's the anti-Taylor Swift. You got to boo her.
No, but Belichick's sitting there, and he's like, how can I, even if he didn't do this, it doesn't care.
He didn't do it.
No.
But if he wanted to, it's the most brilliant.
I'm pretty sure they had to chill out because it looks, and most things are the way it looks. It's like,
fabricated.
This happened this way, and she may be great. I don't know her from Adam, but I'm just saying they did go like, hey, we got to get out of the limelight. This is taking a turn.
But everybody's going to be watching UNC games. It made them one of the most popular college football teams in America now. And
I know
this
the
coming
Miami
season.
UNC game's going to be big this year.
Think that's gigantic money. So if he did do it on purpose, it's brilliant.
You got nerd?
Yeah, I got some nerds.
Yeah, let's nerd.
Well, I'm going to go see Jurassic World Rebirth tonight.
I have heard.
Because it's cheap.
Now the thing that people are doing, and it's kind of unfair, I think, but they're saying like every sequel that we've had since Jurassic Park 1 has been worse. Like that's the headline I'm starting to see from different places where they're like, we got the one, everyone loved it.
Oh, the one's fantastic.
Everything since then is just notching down the decline, and they're saying that this one is the worst.
Well, they're saying that this made Scarlett Johansson like the most bankable actor or actress in the world now because she just beat Samuel L. Jackson for most like box office all time because think about it, she's in the Avengers movies. She had like Black Widow, but she's been in tons of movies.
I always wanted to be murdered by her in Monster. You know, she picks me up.
I thought it was
I'm
Charlize
just,
Theron.
I kind of look like a roadside drifter. You know, she picks me up.
That's not Scarlett Johansson.
and guts me like a pig on some Florida Volusia County
That's
street.
Charlize Theron, dude.
Oh, sorry.
They all look the same.
blonde,
Hey, I'm making sure you guys get it right. I
blonde
get yelled
and
at for being
boobies.
wrong all the time.
Blonde and boobies. This is
I just liked
So-
her in Devil's Advocate, which full frontal.
too older.
But
Too old.
it is like
Scarlett Johansson, way better.
the Jurassic Park franchise, which
Yeah.
is all that matters at the end of the day, is like how much has this franchise made?
Tons.
You know,
Is it the-
It
worldwide.
made $318 million over the weekend.
So it's
Yeah,
up
but-
there with Star Wars, right? Gotta be.
Yeah.
Star Wars, probably, yeah.
with the amount of movies and
Well,
merchandise.
this is
and,
number, what, 6
know,
or 7?
yeah.
I like
7.
some water dinosaurs.
Dude.
I don't know why people are getting all mad
The
at it.
Spinosaurus
I
and
think
the
that looks pretty cool.
Mosasaurus, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think,
the reason why I'm going to go see it, because I saw the one scene that they showed, like a preview.
the epic water battle. Yeah, it's
Yes.
cool looking.
I was like, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
I'll go see it on a cheap day, because it's Tuesday and it's cheap at Regal Point Orlando.
People in the chat room saw it and they liked it.
Okay.
I'll bring Tommy because he watched all the Jurassic Park movies.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
he got into it. We watched the first one, then he watched all the new ones himself, and so we'll go and watch it.
Well, this
you
is
go.
like the summer movie season, because that's most of what I have. I'm going to go see Superman next Tuesday, and that comes out this Friday, is the new Superman with James Gunn directing.
You know, I had heard that there was a scene in that film that they cut out because it was testing
Bad.
poorly. And and I wondered if this was just BS that they start, you know, like they'll just print some
Just have
article.
sound bite
They
or something
said
about it.
that Crypto the dog, there was a scene when the main villain in Superman was supposed to punch Crypto the dog in the head,
Okay.
and that people hated it, like hated the scene.
Yeah,
And-
hurting
Because
the
we're
dog.
weak. It's a super dog.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
they
super
can
dog.
take a
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah,
But you're
but
hurting a
also I
dog
think
on
that there was.
screen.
I think
Yeah.
it was like tongue in cheek from what I read. I was reading it fast, but it was like a tongue in cheek scene where, like, imagine like the dog does something and then the guy punches the dog, and then the other, like the villainess, says to the villain guy, I don't know who it is. He's like, you can't punch a dog, and he's like, he asked for it or something like that. You know, come
Okay.
on, like, you can do that.
Oh, yeah.
You can
No,
punch a
no,
dog.
We're too weak to take it.
Well, my wife,
we
like-
can't look at it. We're like,
Remember
take
I
it
Am
out.
Legend? My wife still won't watch that ever again after
I won't
that
watch it
scene.
because stinky old Will Smith.
Wilson,
said it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
he-
good when it came out.
There's a difference between punching a super dog and choking out your best friend because he has turned into a zombie. Like, you know, so it's like,
Yeah.
into the way, you know, so punching the super dog, I mean, you know.
They could have been fake though. They could have just like said, "Hey, we cut that." You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we had
You're
that
right,
scene
yeah,
in the
yeah.
movie and we cut it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's probably corny. I don't even like the premise of Superman having a super
It
dog
shouldn't be in there.
companion.
And I'm a
It's
dog guy.
Goofy.
Yeah, it is goofy. I'm a dog guy. I love dogs,
Well,
especially little white dogs, and that dog does not need to be in that
Well,
movie.
one of the
It's stupid.
stories is they shot off the super dog first because they needed to test it out before they put the baby in it.
That's stupid too.
That
Test
was
with the
one of the
baby.
stories.
You got
Like they-
thousands of Krypton babies, and they're real tough. Test it with them.
Yeah,
They're fine.
You
they
lived-
were tough because they were in the red sun.
You lived in the future too. and you're testing things with dogs still.
Yeah, come on.
Stupid.
I figured you guys
It
get a
is
kick out of that
stupid. It's
story.
really, really dumb that the dog is in there. It's like it makes me not want to see the movie, and I'm a dog guy.
Okay, are you going to go see the Fantastic Four movie with Pedro Pascal? And
I'm done with Pedro Pascal.
That's what one of the
Yeah.
main memes is like. The
Yeah.
Galactus is going to eat the planet because I'm tired of seeing Pedro
Yeah,
and
I'm
everything.
sick of seeing him in his dumb, stupid half beard. I'm done with you. I'm done with your stupid. What are
he's
you?
lovable.
Are you
And his
white?
smile
Are you
that's
Latin?
in-
Are you a Mandalorian? What are you? I don't know what you are. I'm done with you. I don't know who you
yeah.
are. You've spread yourself. Are you an ally to Mrs. Potato, who is running from all the fungus zombies? Are you her dad? Are you a horrible person in there? I don't know. They tried to paint you like you were a horrible person.
I still haven't watched that second season.
Are you
Mandalorian?
Are you
Saving
what's his
Grogu?
name? Grogu's dad? I don't know. Are you that? What are the other shows that he's been in? The thousands of other movies and
He's in
shows.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was in that
I-
Nick Cage movie. He was good in that. I liked him in that.
I just think I don't know enough of you. I think whoever you were reading that said I'm done with Pedro Pascal. Yeah, I think we can give it to somebody else, and I'm gonna give
It's
my
kind of like Chris Pratt was a couple years ago. Remember
Yeah.
he was in everything?
I'm giving my eyes to another actor.
Okay.
Sorry.
I feel like there's zero chance too that if you go see Fantastic Four, you're gonna leave the theater thinking that's not what I expected. Like, oh, that's a new take on like it's,
yeah,
just gonna- it's like, yeah, that's about
The only
right.
thing that changed is this female Silver Surfer, and it's Shalabal instead of
Shalabala.
Yeah.
Shalabal.
But it's like, you know, you can kind of
Instead of
You know what's coming. You know what it's going to be.
And it's also the same actor. That's what I'm talking about. It's like
it's
it's going to be a great performance because he's a good actor.
He's fantastic,
but it's going to be the Mandalorian as Dr. Stretch-a-Lot or whatever his name is. It's
Mr.
just stupid.
Fantastic.
The whole thing is just stupid. It's all stupid, and all you dumb nerds, you try to defend it because you have to. It's all you got. You know the world is dying, and you're clinging to it, and you're defending it, and you're failing. You're failing miserable.
The best thing about Fantastic Four is the Norm Macdonald joke about Fantastic Four. And you go back and listen to it. Hear Norm.
It's a great
tell
joke.
it.
Yeah, it's a good joke.
But
I totally agree.
It's a funny joke.
That and
you know what sucks
the
about
Mallrats one.
it sucks that Norm Macdonald died, and then the world's like, this guy's funny. That's what happened. Like the whole world.
Everybody knew. It just became cool to say it.
Yeah, I know, but
Did you watch the documentary? The last one, the special he did when he was sick?
Yes, yeah.
It was hard to watch, but it was really good.
Yeah, but it was just like they started just releasing all old David Letterman interviews with Norm Macdonald, and like I just feel like they just they gave him all the credit after he died. And it's like, why not?
They didn't appreciate when we had him. Yeah,
I don't know. I think he's okay with that for some reason. I think it's like, it's a fine, got a good joke.
Yeah, I wouldn't be okay with it.
Well,
you always want credit.
You always want credit.
If I'm dying on my deathbed, I'm going to be searching the internet, and then I'm going to be on fake accounts releasing like, hey, I was cutting out things like this. Tom said it's funny. There's like 2 likes. God. That's the worst thing you do before you die. You confirm you're not that funny.
You go on there, people are like, I'm glad he died. You're like, oh no, I'm glad he's dying. If somebody said, I'm glad he's dying, and you're like, oh, didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
Did not need to see that.
It's like I missed when he was drugging the bear.
It's like when
people say that all the time.
And when Hulk Hogan thought Bam Margera died, did you remember?
Oh yeah.
And then Bam's like,
I have a T-shirt of that.
That's Ryan Dunn. He's like, oh,
that was funny.
Bam was a good friend, brother.
It's like, and then he commented,
mixed them up.
I'm still alive. He said, brother. Bam said, brother.
Still alive, brother.
All right.
Plug MyCon. Is it coming back?
We're not totally sure yet.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah.
That helps me.
I know that helps a lot. I know. I don't have anything to plug because
What's in limbo? You want to ask for some money from Tom?
No.
Yeah, give me some money.
How many kayaks do you have?
Just
one
one
or just
one.
one?
It's a double.
I hate a double kayak. I like a
God,
single.
I need 2.
I don't want anybody in there.
2 doubles.
What are you doing?
He
I
wants
want
to do the
see
bioluminescence.
The glowing.
Yeah.
Like,
Can you say bioluminescence? Can you, Tom?
The amount of
Please try to
mediocrity
say
that
that.
these people see on their weekends is
I know.
it's endless. You want to go out to the middle of nowhere and see something that's not cool? I'm like, no, I do not.
The Browns are coming up. I gotta show there. Like, you want to see that glowing
So you gonna impress
ocean.
the Browns, really?
Yeah. Like, no, well, I'm starting my second half of life is gonna be some sort of tour guide.
Slap it with your paddle. It'll really glow now. All right, everybody, eat your
Don't put
lukewarm
your hand in the
sandwich.
water.
I
All
like
right.
bringing people on tours. I don't know. I like it. It's my passion.
Sounds like every one of those is miserable, though, according to all your stories.
Yeah. It's miserable for me, but I just want to.
Even for them.
Here's what I know. I know is like, when does the bioluminescence happen? We don't know. When are we going out there? Now. Is it going to show up? Nope.
Nah,
it's not going to happen then because it all floated away because
Or
the
it was
current,
raining
we
and he
didn't
missed it.
investigate anything. We didn't
It's
check
all a
anything
gamble.
out.
It's all sporadic. Like
We should gamble on that if he's gonna have a good time.
He never has. He's been to more places than
It's
anyone. I
insider
said this to him
trading.
yesterday.
We already know this.
I said this to him yesterday. I go, you've been to more places than anyone I know. You've never come back and said like that was the one.
Yeah, but eventually, the one will be the one.
And I hope it's something like Pontoon Marina. Best Buy.
The law of averages.
Yeah.
You just got to, ask everybody out. One person will say yes. Anyway. All right.
All right.
EJ.
No MyCon, but maybe an EJ back in a month. Hey, thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Have a good time.
All right. We will be right back.
All right, man. Nice. Cool. We're still on Twitch and YouTube. What's up, Jesse?
What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Oh, man.
Good, man.
We're on.
Thanks for doing that, dude.
No problem.
So now we're back at it.
Good luck with the new car.
Yeah.
So we're just mass recording shows.
Yeah, Danielle's not totally sure about it. She says it all the time.
Takes a little getting used to.
She's like, I don't know if I want to. Like, we cleaned out our trailer, not our trailer, our storage unit, because like it's getting too expensive to keep it there.
So expensive.
Shows release them on schedule because keep the schedule going because you don't never fall out of people's routine listening.
So yeah. But we gotta clean it out. So I gotta clean out the garage to put my car in there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and we're not talking about current events too.
Yeah.
So,
Which is cool though. Gives you guys a little bit of like.
See you, buddy.
Yeah, see you.
Thanks for hanging out.
Now we're figuring out how to do that. Where we
That was fun.
I went to Sweden a week and a half ago, and then Daniel went up to Tennessee, and now Daniel's going back up to Georgia. I'll text you. It'll be in August. I've already opened up the August schedule, but it'll probably be August like 13th or something. That's fine. I'll text you today, though.
All right, y'all. I'm going to use the restroom real fast. We're on Twitch and YouTube, just so.
You want any water or anything?
Yeah, I'll do a water. Good to see you, buddy. What's up, buddy? How are you? You know, just living the dream. As always.
Consulting.
Brother, working my face off right
Telling
now.
people what not to do, what to do.
Yeah. What not to do? We got a big trade show like next week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm like dreading it.
Yeah, the trade show, but there's a lot of.
I love the trade shows. They're fun, but this one's just like intense and forever long.
It's like a grind trade show.
Yeah, it's like our biggest show of the year. So it's like Tuesday to Sunday, like 8:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night, and it's just go the entire time. So
Yeah, those things I know. Like a guy I know, Dylan. He does a surf convention.
oh yeah, we're gonna do that for the first time this year.
Yeah, so everybody. That takes away a month of time. The food planning, set up, and stuff. Like it's a huge thing, but it's a big business for him. Because it consolidates everybody in one place. And that's valuable.
Yeah, people are they're shopping at that moment. They're there. They want to buy stuff. They look for stuff. This one, we do this show twice a year. It's one in January and one in July. This one's actually a Christmas show. It's a big holiday show. So it's super interesting. You're like there. It's hot as hell, but it's just floors of Christmas stuff everywhere.
God.
So
That's anytime you're dealing with Christmas in July and the summer, and it's just weird to me. It's like
yeah, you walk outside, you're sweating your bull sacks off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but it's cool. It's just like, oh, what did you guys do for the 4th? Anything fun?
Just chilling.
Chilling.
Yeah, I smoked a pork butt, and that's about all I did.
Nice, man.
And I did it in Baldwin, which I love doing, and in the back parking lot.
Yeah.
And I love seeing the people walk by and look how strange it looks.
We just start tailgating at random places. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's fun, man. There's a lot of parking lots around here. It's perfect for smoking pork butts.
Why would that be an awesome Instagram/YouTube account, TikTok account? We just barbecue.
Parking lot pork butts.
Parking
That's
lot
it. We
pork
just
butts.
named it.
That's it. We kick off Sunday.
I like that. Let me turn your mic. No, your mic's already on. Great. Do you want headphones? They're right there in front of you, like in the little. Yep, you got them. Yep. Perfect.
Here we
Everything
go.
else is good though, dude?
Yeah, dude. Just
Have you been doing anything fun? We always talk to you about like businessy stuff. We never ask you like what the fun stuff you're doing.
Dude, I went up to 30A over the weekend, which is up in Destin. Good times.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's like it's like a 15-mile stretch of road with a bunch of beach towns.
Oh, cool.
It's sick, and it's like I'm a big bike guy, like bicycle guy. So there's trails.
Oh,
for
so you can
miles.
just get up there and ride all around.
Brother, you hop from town to town and like restaurants.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's cool, dude. It's really cool. So we did it last 4th of July, and then did it again this 4th of July because we had a good time. So just got back from that. Rode like 40 miles.
That's good.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's
Good
awesome.
times. So yeah, man, just the grind.
Mr. Van, you good?
Yep.
And where are we putting the second part of tonight?
This is the second part of tonight. Yes.
Okay. 3 and 4. All right,
All
buddy.
right.
Would you like to bring us back?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. And 3.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got social media influencer and entrepreneur Jesse Wolf on the couch with us.
Hello.
How you doing, Jesse?
What's up, guys?
Gave you a short. That was like a business
Is that
class.
a good,
Business
I guess
class.
title, Jesse?
I'll take it. I'll take it
Okay,
for sure.
all right,
Yeah.
Titles are weird. I feel like title used to be a thing that I'll go with dads because we're all male.
Yeah.
That like it would have been important, but now I feel like the way that we all are if somebody gives us a title, we might like slough it off,
yeah.
or be like, or not like it, or it might make us uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like there was a time when if you left out, like if you were Dr. Jesse Wolf, and I didn't say it, that you might later write me a handwritten letter. I'm serious. Where that I got in the mail and you're like, dearest Daniel, I know we are acquaintances and occasionally I go on your show, but I'd be remiss if I did not mention that last time I was in there, you did not mention that I have my doctorate degree from the University of Central Florida.
That's pretty good.
I got a theory about this.
Yeah.
So
when did it change, T?
Okay, we used to be given titles, right?
Okay.
And like even when the queen would put the sword on your shoulders,
That was a bucket list item, by the way. Missed that, a bucket list item.
you were
You're
knighted.
never gonna get that either.
Never gonna get
I
that
know,
now.
but put it on
Damn
there.
it, man.
Or you're sir, or you were given the title, so it's huge, right? And it's been degraded all the way down to when we started social media. Everybody was giving themselves their own title under their social media, and that's when we killed it. Because now everybody can
touche.
underneath your own name, you could say whatever you want. And then so now titles are devalued because now you're giving it to yourself. Like if you call yourself a doctor.
Can I take it a step further?
Yeah.
We also over-casualized our name. I don't know if casualized is a word, but I'm just going to say
I'm rolling with it.
Because, like, there was a time, and I missed this time, when doing business with somebody named Mr. Beast wouldn't ever happen.
Oh, yeah, touche.
Use your real name, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
You know, like seriously,
Yeah,
like
you're
I would
right.
be like, no, I am not. This
Yeah.
guy's not taking business seriously. This guy is not serious money. This guy's not got skin. He doesn't care.
Yeah. And that probably was a hurdle for him at the beginning until he's $1 billion. He's like,
Everything changes when you become a billionaire.
I'll call him whatever he wants to be called. Unspeakable, Mr. Beast, all these goofy names.
yeah.
I'm sure there was old white dudes that were like, I'm not doing business with this guy until they saw the business. They're like, okay.
Maybe this is kind of a fun place to start with you today, since we haven't seen you in a minute. You've done both. You've done conventional old school business, and you've also done the influencer casual Mr. Beastie, unspeakable, Party Boy 69 is my name, and you're like,
Jake Paul.
social media. Do both still exist?
So, you know what's funny? Here's a crazy story from the weekend, right? I'm up in the 30A Destin area, if you will, for the 4th.
By the way, you mentioned that, and then the chat room just exploded with people saying, I need to go there.
Oh,
again. Sounds great.
Dude, if you have not been up to 30A, it's like Rosemary Beach, Seaside, it's water sound. The ocean up there, it's up in the Panhandle. The water's like pool water. It's unbelievably beautiful, like white sugar sand beaches. Wow. Unreal.
I like when you get in, you're like, it shouldn't be this hot.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
You're like, can the fish live?
No, my thing was, I'm in the water. I'm like,
something's wrong.
Everyone's like taking photos for the vibes. I'm just like, I could see the sharks before they could see me, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel safe here. I like it.
They're boiled out of there. It's too hot for them.
You're not in the capital, though. I saw that New Cimarron.
Yeah, brother.
got that.
Reigning champs again.
Yeah,
Good for New Cimarron.
we are the capital of the world.
That's my favorite beach. So I like to pump the the shark facts, if you will.
We have a new
Keep the crowd down.
We have a new business item that you'll be getting. We'll throw a portfolio across your desk soon. It's called Freem. Fear rules everything around me, and we're doing a series of T-shirts. Freem.
I like it.
Yeah,
Freem. I like that.
So what were you gonna say?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm up there, right, and it was so funny. I'm in the bike shop, right, big bike community. You can bike for literally 20 miles each way.
Cool.
So there's cool bike shops you're hopping out of. There's like bars and breweries and stuff you can bike to, whatever. So I'm in this bike shop getting my bike looked at real quick. I was having an issue, and this kid comes up to me and he's like, "You're famous, aren't you?" And of course, everybody in the bike shop just stops and goes, "Well, who is this person?" And I was kind of laughing. I'm like, don't think so. He's like, "Nope, you're famous." And immediately I went to Shark Tank, right? I'm like, that's big TV, whatever.
Yeah.
Kid's like, "You're that Costco guy." And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I do Costco content on Instagram. Meanwhile, I'm like,
Jesse, you went to Shark Tank. This kid was 3 years
he's
old.
probably 3 years old.
Yeah.
My other thought was like, why is he watching Costco content? You know what I mean? It was so funny.
Kids are weird these days.
Dude, brother, it was so funny.
He's in her TikTok videos and social media.
And that's it, right? So I ended up running into like 3 sets of people throughout that weekend. They were like, I know you. You're famous. And I'm like, fame is really shifted, I guess.
Right.
Like, I think like Ben Stiller, you know what I mean? Like, not
What an
Jesse
old
the-
reference, Jesse.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, my God.
Well, you're old, Daniel. How dare you? You're old too.
I would have said Ben Stiller. For Christ's sake.
I understood.
When
I
I
was like,
think
yes.
of famous, I
big
think
Ben
of
Stiller fan.
Billy Crystal. When I think of famous, I think of Harrison Ford and Sammy Davis Jr.
So you're saying it's a little dated.
It's a little. I mean, like,
got it.
look, I fall into the camp all the time. I go back to. I always tell Andrew, I was like, "What's that new movie that's awesome with the model, the Zoolander, the new movie?" Andrew's like, "Zoolander is 75 years old."
I like referencing.
I do that constantly.
Kathy Ireland. That's my favorite reference.
You know, and she holds up.
Timeless.
The
Absolutely
Kathy Ireland collection.
Yeah.
Where was that held? Anyone?
Yeah.
Kmart.
Kmart.
I wonder.
Blue light specials.
Yeah, buddy.
So you were in the bike shop. I saw that you got an e-bike.
Brother, life changing.
All right.
Fast.
Okay, what I
Fast.
like
You can
about
kill
this,
yourself on those things,
you
Jesse.
can, but this Electra, I love Electra bikes. If
I've had an Electra bike.
dude,
I had a road rat.
yeah, those are sick.
Yeah,
the cruisers.
it was just a 3-speed cruiser.
Yeah.
I still have it.
They make the best cruisers, dude. Like, no plug ear or anything, but like, I just big fanboy of them. So
Well,
had
they're reasonably priced too, because I
Yeah.
think I got that rat rod bike brand new, and it's a good brand with
Yeah.
like a great warranty, and I think I paid like $300 at the time.
Oh,
for
you
it or
can get
something.
into like their basic beach
it
cruisers
wasn't
for like
bad.
$300. But
Yeah.
like bike shop bikes versus like Walmart bikes, day and night.
I'm definitely a bike shop.
I'm a bike shop guy all day
I take
long.
a lot of heat for that.
No.
But my kid has like the bikes last longer.
Dude,
you
they
can
last
sell 'em.
longer. They're easier to work on.
Yeah.
I mean, they're easier to ride. Like
Yeah.
these bikes are so light. They're so comfortable.
It's
So-
also small business feel
Yes.
because we started using a bike shop. We had Tommy a nicer bike. I got it on Facebook Marketplace, but it was
Yeah,
like a
but
Trek.
great though.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got him a Trek? Hell yeah.
And
Hell
then,
yeah. That's a
good
good
ass
bike.
bike.
And then Crystal took it to the bike shop, and they
Yep.
put new pedals, make
Oh,
sure it
they'll
was
just
working.
set it up for him
Yeah.
like a guitar. And
See,
that's
and
the
it-
way
Right,
to do it.
right.
And they did it reasonably cheap, and they knew her because we went there a
now
couple
you have
times
a
with our-
rapport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so like I'll throw in this because it's small town. It's not big corporate
I love
bike
that.
shop, and so they'll throw in like, hey, I put the pedals on, I greased your chain for you, whatever.
I would tell you right now, buy a used bike shop quality bike over a new department store bike any day of the week.
yeah.
Like, and they've come a long way in the department stores. They have from like back when I was a kid, because I grew up like riding BMX and all that stuff. I literally have like 22 bikes right now. I have a real problem.
22 bikes.
22 bikes, dude. I have
And
a
then
real problem.
fill your entire
Yeah,
garage.
yeah,
God,
right.
you're the Jay Leno of bikes.
I might just be.
Can we do a Jesse Wolf's garage?
We should do a Jesse Wolf's garage tour.
Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? This lockdown. This one I had. This one the first electric they ever came out with. This one had the 180
You're pretty
kilowatt
good.
battery.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And this is your first electric bike?
No. Yeah, so this is my
Okay.
first e-bike, and I did a lot of research on it because I've been that menace, right, that ends up in D.C. or some city that rents like a city bike or whatever.
Yeah,
And those are awesome, but they're a little squirrely. So this bike was really rad because Electra just dropped it, and literally within like the month ago.
Newer than new stuff.
Oh,
There's a feeling that I know, Tom, you're not guided by this. I am. But when you get the newer than new,
oh yeah.
and you have the new before anybody else has it, I am the type of person where there is a bit of joy, Marie
Yeah,
Kondo.
yeah,
That I get.
yep.
I get a
Okay.
glow from that.
All right,
You're
that's
the
interesting.
early
It is
adopter
fleeting.
of it, baby.
It's very fleeting.
yeah.
But it's good. It's like
Yeah.
a firework. It's
Yep.
like you see it, it explodes, it's awesome, but it will go away. It
Yeah.
will go away.
Yeah.
And you have to know that. You have to cherish it.
You have to savor every moment. That was
color-
me on that trail, baby.
What color's your bike?
Oh, it's like a dark blue.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's so sick with like these like dark gum wall tires. But what I like about it is you could pedal it like a normal bike. Then it's got pedal assist.
Okay.
And that's where you pedal. For every one pedal you do, it takes you like 40 feet. It's
That's the
kinda
DUI bike.
yeah,
style.
and then the third's just full throttle, baby.
Yeah, the
Also-
kids around Baldwin only go full throttle. They
Oh,
do not,
dude, they
yeah,
rip.
They don't pedal anymore.
No.
The pedals also make it so that the cops can't say it's an electric bike only.
Right.
And then you can be on bike
Yeah.
paths.
That's a
and
Yeah.
stuff.
DUI bike.
Yeah.
Well,
So, like,
literally, it's called a class 1, class 2, class 3. Class 3 usually are not allowed
on bike paths, if you will, from what I understand.
How do you feel about one wheels on bike paths?
Okay, one, wheels are dangerous.
Trash.
Yeah.
They're trash.
Like, mad
And
respect.
the people that ride them are trash.
mad respect for, like, some of the gonads on some of these guys riding these things.
Tom loves his. I
Dude.
bought him one. I bought him one.
Listen, I don't know how.
I like
can
setting
you,
up
can you
wars.
ride it confidently? Like, are you good at it?
I almost flipped this table over, Jesse.
Get him, Jesse. Yeah, wolf.
Of course I'm confident.
I'm the greatest there ever was.
He's never not confident.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll write anything. I almost made your wife joke.
You could have been having a high five. Why did you?
I'll ride your wife.
I don't know.
Ride me, Tom.
Wait, were you going to say me or were you going to say Jesse?
Anybody. Well, you, of course you. But one of the
If you had just turned to me and said, I'll ride your wife, I'm Tom Van, I would have jumped up and high-fived you.
Anyway, so the electric bike business. Let's talk about that. So it seems like there's not, there's some brands like you mentioned that have like risen higher than others, but for the most part, they seem pretty. There's not one that's like, oh, here's the industry standard on electric bikes, and maybe
Or
wrong
is
about
there?
that, but it seems like it's all over the place, and people are just picking them because they're like, oh, electric bike, one's just as good as the other.
And like, that was my biggest dilemma because it's weird. Again, big bike guy. My dream one day is like retire, open a cool little bike shop. That's like goals.
That's so nice.
Yeah, dude.
That
It's just
is-
so like in a
yeah.
cool town, like maybe up in New Cimarron or something. You know what I mean?
That's got like a what's that? Gilmore's Girl.
Yeah, it does. You're
Yeah.
right.
Remember the guy? Remember the guy with the backwards hat?
Yeah, yeah.
And
What
he
was-
owned the cafe.
Yeah,
But he
that's
was
me.
He was a cool dude. He was attractive. That's you.
Attractive.
And you're attractive, cool dude, and you own a bike shop in a town where all the young Southern belles lust after you.
Yes, I like this.
It's also weird for a
That's
businessman.
a movie by itself.
A businessman's dream to be a business that makes no money.
More or less. Yeah, small time, right? It's like
It's weird.
Well, it's kind of those things where it's like almost like a hobby business. You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
know,
To some
I know.
degree.
Yeah.
But,
But,
I wonder if the local bike shops do make any sort of good revenue.
Listen, I know Kyle's down the road here. They're great.
Great shop.
Yeah, great shop. They murdered it during COVID. So like,
yeah. Well-
bikes kind of had a resurgence post COVID.
Yeah, I got just because of a pure volume. We got most Amaze bikes from Orange Cycle,
Oh yeah, Orange Cycle's another great
and
shop.
they expanded to the point where now they have a back area where
Yeah.
it's just like cardboard boxes of unassembled bikes.
Yeah.
because they're just pumping bikes out.
Pumping bikes.
And if you need a bike, they'll like, we'll have it assembled in an hour over on our assembly. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like,
Dude, College Park Bikes over there, the truck dealer over there, they're amazing dudes.
I try to hit them all because they all offer a little bit something different, a little bit different vibe. Some of them are like, we're the fixed gear guys, and we're more the independent guys, and we're more like this, and we're more like the family guys, and we're more like road bikes.
Yeah.
And
I mean, just riding is just awesome. I mean, it's.
I didn't know
especially-
you liked so much. We should ride, man.
We should. Should we
Yeah.
start a biker gang?
We should start a biker
feel
gang.
like we should.
Tom takes it too serious. He's all about speed. He doesn't like to cruise.
You're a road bike
Yeah, this guy
right?
likes to train.
I'll smoke ice to prove that I'm not a narc.
Tom's like, I'm gonna jump Lake
You
Baldwin.
want to see me smoke ice right now?
I do want to. Yeah, I want to. What'd you guys do today on the show? Jesse Wolf came over. We all smoked ice, and then we rode bicycles around.
That's
our land.
awesome.
That is awesome.
We set Lake Lap records. Let me tell
And you know what? There are rich businessmen that smoke ice and ride bicycles.
Oh,
I feel like.
think it's a daily occurrence in New York.
So here's the problem with bikes.
You knew it was coming.
Not the ice,
Yeah.
but the bikes.
You knew it was coming.
I never rode bikes up until this damn triathlon. Then I started having to ride bikes to
Yeah.
train, right? So my standard route was out the back of the studio, out on Skateway Trail.
Yep.
I'd ride to the bums, what I call it.
Grab the ice, turn around.
As soon as I start hitting bumland, that's
Yeah.
what tells me, all right, make the turn.
don't
and,
laugh.
When
and
people
that'll be
start
good.
talking to you through your earbuds, hey, you got to turn
When I have
around.
the bunny hop bums. Yeah, I saw one guy just face down,
Yeah.
like I rode by him. I was like, did I just run by a dead bunny?
Dead wildling. Dead wildling.
Apopka's got gators. Easterland, a little different vibes.
And then I'd ride back, and then I did did that, dozens and dozens of times until the point where I got bored with it because it was the same old
Same
thing.
route every day.
So then I was like, well, maybe I'll try some different, go to some different bike paths. But then I was too lazy
got
to
confused.
drive.
You got lost.
No, just to drive to the bike path, And then I was like, well, I could ride my bike to it. But then I'm like riding in the street, and I'm like, man, this is sketchy.
Too dangerous. Yeah.
Like,
I don't like riding in the street.
And so
not around here.
our infrastructure is not set up coming from Stockholm, Sweden, right?
Oh yeah, talk about that.
Bike, the bike roads are built first.
Cars are secondary.
It was built before cars, so
Yeah.
it's like their whole infrastructure was built
It's
for
built
bikes.
into their culture, biking in Europe. It really is.
Yeah.
There's so many cars are a nuisance. You're like, get out of here, car! It's a
Yeah,
bike
we're
line
biking
here.
over here.
we're biking over.
I'm biking.
And then so you're like, man, if we had better infrastructure, biking would be way more pleasurable.
So I just got to vent for a second because Orlando, dude. I'm so perturbed with the way Orlando's being run right now. The last 7-8 years, if you will. I keep joking. I'm like, I'm gonna run for mayor.
You should do it.
I'm like, I'm gonna run for mayor. I'm gonna get up. We have a cool city. It's just not getting the attention it needs.
You need a mayor who's a wolf.
Use a wolf. I like that. Yeah.
We'll help you,
Let's go.
bro.
Yeah. Are we announcing the campaign right here?
You need a mayor who's a wolf on crime. You need a mayor who's a wolf on taking back our bike lanes.
Yeah.
Vote wolf.
And then next thing you know, T&D Construction gets the gets a bide if it
Hey, I'm biking over here. Hey, we got the bid. Hey, Stuga.
me and Concrete Mike, we get a $10 million contract to.
We have no
build
idea what we're doing. But
Yeah,
we'll do
Can
it.
I just drive you around?
Sure. Yeah.
I just want to drive your
I
truck
think that's
around.
part of the contract as mayor.
Yeah,
right?
I just want to wear like a suit. I would be like your
It's
chauffeur.
gotta have short pants though, like shorts.
Okay, like
shorts, you know,
like
and
what Jermaine Dupri wore.
Yeah,
Like, he wore
exactly.
like a little Lord
Yeah.
Fauntleroy outfit.
Yeah.
Then the news is knocking on my door. They're like, "Where's the bike lanes, Mr. Van?" I'm like, "God damn."
Have you seen the new bike lanes we
We're
have?
complaining. Well, I was gonna say that.
Is that the ones you're gonna
They're
complain about?
Garbage, brother.
Are you talking about the ones at Corinne, or are you talking about the ones that
Okay.
are big concrete? They're Nilla wafers, big concrete cookies.
Good. So let's start with Corinne.
Okay.
Here is the concept. Oh, well, let's not redo the sidewalks. Let's take the spillover curb from the road.
Yeah, where
and
people park at Canine Glamour Club,
Yeah,
where
we're-
I take my dog to get him groomed.
Yeah, let's take the 7 parking spots as well and just convert that to a bike lane. But we're not going to put actual guardrails up. We're going to put little metal, like I don't know what they work.
Well, they're reflectors and green spray paint.
Dude, they got
They're not even metal. I've run into them. I was scrolling on Facebook.
I mean, they're real easy to hit drunk. I'll tell you that.
I was scrolling on TikTok. I'm like,
Oh, there goes the bike lane.
God, no one was there.
I will say, full self-driving does not know they're there.
Yeah, it does not Damn you, Elon.
Yeah, they
No.
do not know.
I'll tell you, they were gone. I mean, they were mowed down within a week. They put them back up. They were mowed down again.
Yeah.
Tom murdered the first set.
Well, they did green spray paint on their road too.
Yeah, to try to tell
They
you.
did the green
nothing.
paint to kind of like actively let you know that. And then the other ones we have are the exact opposite of the no protection. These are what appear to be
Like bullards.
2.5 feet by 1.5 feet, rounded like this. Rounded, big, thick boy concrete.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what you would call that.
Islands
like little islands that are about 2.5 feet by 1.5 feet wide.
Yep.
And they're all stacked together like in a line. And like if a car hit them, it's just gonna shred your car.
Are you
And
talking about the ones on Cimarron too, right?
they're nuts. Yeah.
So my favorite
I
thing.
kind of like them, but at the same time, I'm like, well, how did you come to that design?
Well, so my favorite thing about the Cimarron project that makes zero sense, you had a massive sidewalk on both sides. You could have just actually widened that by another foot or so. You had plenty of room to do it.
Yeah.
Turn it into a real bike path. But instead, they took the turn lane
Yes.
off Cimarron. So now there's no more turn lanes. I've seen more accidents, believe it or not, on Cimarron in the last 6 months. And then it's like, yeah, you're either going to eat that curb and your wheels are exploding, and then you're going to mow down the bicyclist, or you play ping pong between them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whoever just signed off on that, I mean, I was blown.
It's a weird design.
Well, T&D Construction signed off because it was the cheapest thing to do, and I smoked the rest of the money.
Yeah. It bought a lot of ice.
Yeah, I had to buy my boat and some other things.
It's really hard to design a better barrier while I'm smoking this ice. This ice is good.
It's a real conundrum in the construction industry.
So what else has been going on, Jesse,
Oh.
business-wise? Because I know you consult for different companies.
Yeah.
What's the new hot business nowadays?
Oh, that's a great question.
Dude, I mean, we're kind of all over the place right now. You know, business is it's in a strange place right now, right? The economy kind of struggle busting. Today is Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day for you guys that don't
It's a
know
pretty
yet.
lackluster, low-key Prime Day,
Yeah,
right?
you know, I mean, things are down overall. Like, everyone's kind of down right now, you know. So you're watching a lot of companies. Like, it's a good time to have some money and shop. Let me put it that way. You're getting some crazy deals, some crazy promotions. You know, and I think that's going to really roll into today, into the end of the year. And you know, businesses are really fighting to stay alive. So what's really interesting about this is it reminds me of like 2008 all over again to some degree, right? Where, you know, the entrepreneurs make it and the entrepreneurs don't make it, right? And I've seen, you know, with all the tariff stuff that happened, whatever it was, you know, 6-8 months ago, you're going to go through trial and tribulation, and you're watching brands of old and new go through this stuff, and you're really seeing good entrepreneurs and how they're circumventing these issues, and then you're watching big brands struggle.
By
you
the
know?
way, I love the tariffs because I use it as an excuse for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these goddamn, you put a goddamn on it, and
Yeah, you left your kid at school. Goddamn tariffs, man. You know?
these goddamn tariffs.
I was telling our sponsors, I'm like, well, advertising is more expensive. You know, the tariffs.
Sorry.
And they're
The
like, what
radio signals that come over my phone, the both are stuck in the
Yeah,
ports.
it's all tariffs.
The notepads sky high.
Prices are up. T-shirts, everything.
Everything. We're down bad. 20%. But yeah, it's a wild time right now. Like, absolutely wild time to just see what businesses are doing, how they're growing, how they're getting through this. If you're launching right now, like, you know, anyone out there thinking about starting a business, like, don't let this stop you. That's for sure. Because really the playing field is so level at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's fighting for their lives. So, like, what a time to jump in.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You know, also, I find it interesting now that there are ultra small businesses that have filled in the gap between nothing and a small business that you make your
Give
living.
me an example.
So, for instance, like we used to be able to, you'd open up a small business, you quit your job for a company that paid you, and then now your business pays you, and then you hopefully build it to employees.
Right.
Now people get side hustles. Were essentially just small businesses, but the people have all these side hustles where they have, you know, sometimes multiple jobs or at least one job, and their side hustle is they're selling this. They're making $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
That you couldn't have that as a small business because you couldn't support yourself
Correct.
before. But this is just your side hustle. So that's filled. That's a lot of side hustles.
Lot of
where
side hustles.
now it's just the variety of it
Yep.
is crazy. Like
It's a cool way to launch ideas and test stuff. And you know, it's funny, to your point, people are looking for second jobs right now, right? Shit's expensive. You know, things are gone up. The tariffs, you know.
The goddamn
tariffs. You know, so right now, instead of going and getting a second job, people are doing hustles, you know, which
Yes.
I respect the hell out of them. Because, like you said, it brings a lot of cool stuff to the market. Like, people are normally afraid that's a dumb idea, it might not work. The riches are in niches, right? And like some of these niches people are afraid to get into.
you can also test it for very cheap.
Very
because
cheap.
now
Today
it's
more than ever.
It's
dude.
an internet, but you don't have to go rent a storefront.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have 2 months rent and the insurance and all stuff. Then fill it. You're already $30,000 in before you even started your business.
Yeah.
Now you just like I'll just sell this like products in my garage.
Yeah.
I'll just it's free. You know, it's like the only money I'll be out is the website and the packing materials or whatever
Dude,
you bought. Like
I watched this girl on TikTok probably 4 or 5 months ago. You know, like those. Stay with me here. They're called claw clips. They're like these big hair clips for like ponytails.
Yeah.
So they've always, I guess, been an issue in car accidents. Like they'll like shatter and stab the girls in the back of their heads and stuff. You know, like
Really?
during
Oh yeah, because your head will be. and
yeah,
then
you
it'll
get whiplash
cut-
in the back of the seat, right?
What?
Yeah, it's like a real
I
thing.
Never even thought of that.
Yeah.
I was about to call you a goddamn liar.
Yeah,
I was this close to kicking you out of our
That
studio. I was like, this
close.
guy's, well, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Girls don't get their heads impaled by claw clips.
yeah, by those plastic claw clips.
Wow,
So,
man, I didn't know that.
yeah, this girl again, literally, went to her like brother who had a 3D printing machine. She printed a claw clip that's like rubber, kind of foamy, if you will, on the 3D machine. She gets on Instagram, or TikTok. She goes, "Hey, I was in a car accident. This thing stabbed me in my head. I was like, I love them, but they're not safe to while driving. So I made these. Who wants one?" This girl is literally probably doing $20,000 a month in these clips now.
Wow.
Within 6 months, and she's just like, "That's an idea I had." She tells the story on social media, which is cool. And like my biggest thing is like,
Ooh, I'm gonna make clips out of metal.
yeah.
Drive
I'm gonna make mine
dangerously.
out of knives.
Yeah, mine are knives. Drive dangerously. Exactly.
This one's
exactly,
called
exact
the
opposite.
end game.
Yeah.
No fear.
Yeah, exactly. No
So,
fear. I ain't a pussy clip.
So, Jesse, here's another problem I just realized. Now, the internet and the way things are now, it gives you the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
But it also takes it away faster because there's going to be a ton of people to just steal this idea. Patents don't mean anything anymore. And there's
I
going
know
to be
what you mean. There's a ton of people in China.
Yeah,
Well,
the factories in China will just be producing these
But
rubber ones you'll be able to find on
What's
Temu.
funny about China, okay, and this is why it's a very interesting time, political opinions aside, tariff aside, or whatever, because the tariffs caused such a ripple, it actually whacked some of the Chinese companies that sell on Amazon and Temu and etc. So again, that cheap overnight fast, product, if you will, it's kind of stumbled. So now it's a good time to get back out there, launch your own products, try
Oh,
things.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so like there is actually an upside because I personally hate Temu.
Did that tighten up some of the copyright infringement that we had in China? Like, I know there's still no
there's
laws
a ton
there.
of it, dude. Yeah,
But did the tariff kind of shake out some of the worst
shook,
offenders?
Yeah, it shook it up for sure. I'm actually a big fan of not, necessarily like debilitating tariffs, if you will, but making it just painful enough for like Temu and those guys to not be able to do business where it doesn't make sense for them, right? And that's, remember, importing into us, right? Because there's a lot of great companies out there, and I can give you a list right off the top of my head, that have had their products stolen by their own manufacturers over there and sold back, backdoor, if you will, or black market through Amazon and things like that.
That's
So-
what the one rim company was doing, and I think we may have talked about this with somebody else in here, but there was a Tesla-specific alloy rim company that made these really nice alloy rims aftermarket. And they went to the trouble of doing the R&D, and they got everything great.
Yep.
And then they found their manufacturer in China, and then they started making them, and then sales were great for a while, and then lo and behold, it popped up the exact same wheels for like literally a third.
Yeah, I was saying
of
probably
the cost.
half
Like
or less.
these are $1,400 set of 4 rims that
Yeah.
you could get on this website for like $380. Something
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you had no business buying it, and it's the same design. And then they searched it, and just like Jesse's saying, it was their manufacturer that gave, like their manufacturer was making them out of the same like factory
Yeah.
that they were shipping them to them that
Yeah.
they were stealing
Yep.
and putting them out on the internet.
happens often.
We were selling Tom and Dan pop sockets,
That's
and it was a third of the cost
That's true.
from some
From
Chinese
Pops.
factory.
Oh yeah.
And I got the
It
package.
was a pop socket.
It said it had.
pop socket.
It literally
It
said-
literally
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
I
it
don't
said-
even like saying the story
yeah,
because,
yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
this is true.
It said pop socket
did.
on it with their branding.
It
Like
had
it
the
used,
bubble. The
it was
old-
not them.
The old pop socket used to come with a bubble, like a plastic bubble over the pop.
Yep.
And it was like a very nice pack. We had it.
And
And
it was
it was pop
We
socket.
were a pop socket.
We were pop socket.
It was a third of the cost.
Yeah.
I pulled them out. I looked at them, and then I was like, America.
It lasted forever. They were
is
so
weird.
good. They
Yeah.
were so great. And then that
Nothing to
factory,
do with
that
America.
factory disappeared.
I'll tell you what. The one thing I will say
I
is
forgot about that.
there are some damn good manufacturers overseas. So, like for one of the brands I'm on, we do a lot of our packaging over there. And the packaging we do, it's very high end, like Tiffany Co.
Oh, wow.
Style boxes.
Sure.
We have searched the entire United States for over a year. Nobody can touch our box. Even that's what she said. Even
Like,
if
that's how you did that. You know what? You're welcome to our studio anytime. I take back everything I said. You've earned my love and trust.
Thank you. Yeah, so nobody can touch it. Nobody can make it. as quality as they could overseas. And we've even gone, we'll pay double the price, right? And for us,
that's
it
the
was-
American way.
Well, yeah, literally, right? And they just like, we cannot match this quality. So like, there are some things you can get
It's
overseas.
their small, childlike fingers.
Yeah, I love
that too.
That'll
Yeah.
make,
But
because they're child.
Chat room said that Smarter Everyday YouTube channel just did a video about the exact topic we're talking
Yeah.
about how there is a U.S. manufacturing void
Yeah. Oh,
that
big time.
that could be filled and
Big
probably
time.
will be.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that kind of Trump's what he wants to do?
It needs a good execution plan for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest, I mean, let's just be honest. We have a manufacturing facility where we make a lot of our food products for one of my companies. Amazing team, right? Awesome team. We do it. Thank God it's not a super labor intensive business. Because we're able to keep it very craft, if you will, in hand, kind of crafted easily. Some things are just very time consuming to make, right? By hand, if you will. So you got to bring in machines and stuff like that. But, as you look at other products, like think of electronics and things like that, you need, either computers or robotic arms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you actually need personnel. And
Or space.
I mean, yeah,
Just room.
just space and room. Yeah. Manufacturing could come back here, and I think my opinion is part of the immigration visa issue we're having right now. We should help direct towards that, right? So, like,
Come this
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
the factory.
Yeah,
Right this
we,
way.
I'm with you,
we
Wolf.
pay better. Yeah, we pay better. We treat you
Follow
better.
them
yeah.
into the factory.
Yeah.
Wolf wants to put him in the factory.
I'd be honored to.
I like put away the whips. The media's coming.
Yeah.
Making a
Yeah.
joke.
Wolves don't need the whip.
30-minute breaks still apply there. Remember.
Get your pee bottle out.
It's not that bad to be in a bottle.
I do it all the time. I do it on road trips.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be fun.
Yeah, I think it's an adventure.
No.
It's an adventure in a bottle.
It's like that game at the fair, where you take the little gun and you squirt the balloon until it explodes.
Yeah, right into the clown's mouth.
Yeah.
Are there any other like opportunities that you see that people maybe that you were surprised that they jumped on, that you would have liked to have gotten on like early?
So let's just talk about the food business. You're a foodman, and
foodman,
because
I
you
like
know the food business. And
Yeah.
what have you seen any trends that are happening or anything that you've recognized? Any business you're like, oh, because we talked about like the sunflower seeds and that was a business and like that is something that can't be stolen by a factory in China that can make
That's why I love
you know-
food. Yeah. You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? Here's a fun fact about food. Most of your gum, Tic Tacs, gummy bears, things like that, all made overseas.
Really?
Yeah, Hershey's and those big guys came through years ago, and they bought up a lot of the independent factories that used to make that stuff. So, like, most of your gum comes from, like, Switzerland, Poland, kind of that area of the world, if you will.
Weird. Why though? It seems gum like is an easy thing to make and manufacture. It's like
the only somewhat big gum manufacturer in the U.S. And I didn't realize they still owned it until recently. Was Big League Chew. The shredded gum.
Yeah,
I still buy it occasionally.
Yeah. They're out. I think Detroit. I think so. Shout out Big League for being like the only gum manufacturer in the U.S. It's just because
terrible gum.
Yeah.
I mean,
The margins are small,
I gotta
too.
say, the grape I'll buy just out
Oh,
of
dude, it's
nostalgia
so good.
because it slaps for the first 3 seconds you chew
Oh,
it.
it lasts 3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 seconds you gotta spit it out.
I
but it's
snagged
good.
a pouch of Blue Raz over.
Oh, the blue raz is good.
Yeah, it's good. I saw it and I haven't seen that in a minute. So.
God, me and Maisie love trashy candies.
Oh, it's me too, bro.
We love all of them.
So
Ring pop. all the
That's
ones
a trend right now. Okay.
trashy candy.
Trashy candy. So we went from like clean, low calorie, low sugar, this and that. We're back, baby. You know what I mean?
All right.
Gluttonous, good stuff. And the thing that's funny is like you hear like gluttonous. It's just like good homemade, if you will, like quality candy.
Yeah,
Chocolate sweets, gummies, gum, snacks like that in general, cookies. All that stuff's revving up like crazy again. So you're seeing things just
Speaking of candy,
skyrocket.
would you like to try a Swedish devil?
Don't make it.
Straight from Sweden. Have you ever had a Swedish candy before?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
This one's wild.
Here, throw it to me.
Yeah,
is,
okay,
it,
yeah.
is it a gummy bear?
No,
I mean, it's a form of gummy bear.
Oh my God! What is in it? There's no English. Is there anything I should be worried about? in here?
No,
I mean,
no, it's like
no, but
black
it's
licorice.
he's doing it.
Oh.
Oh, it's now get him a water.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
Oh my God.
They love that over there. I don't know why. It's crazy.
Oh
I
my
said
God.
that.
why did you do
I looked
this
it in their
to
face.
Jesse?
I'm like, this is crazy.
Why did you? And the whole chat room's like, why would you do that to Jesse Wolf?
That's because they got him behind me.
What is that, dude?
Anytime someone mentions candy, I'm like, oh, so we just double give them
It's
some.
not a candy. It's an old man vinegar cigar.
There's no way. Oh.
Why did
That
you-
is a candy.
You
They love
are
it.
that
not
is-
the nice one. I'm the
That
bad
is
one.
the most heinous thing
You're
I've
the
ever
bad one. How did that get
put in my mouth.
manufactured? How did that get manufactured?
Oh my, this is great. This is great in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, how does that even happen?
They like the salt.
And
in
look at the
Sweden.
premium packaging on that. Look at that.
Oh my God, dude! What?
They don't
my
like
eyes,
sugar.
My eyes are watering.
I know.
They replace sugar with salt. Seriously, they have
Dude,
zero sugar. Everything.
This is like
They're
the
like, salt's where it's
briniest.
at.
Like, I mean, that almost knocked his goddamn wind out.
It's terrible, right?
They like fish and
Yeah,
salt.
throw
Oh,
back the
it,
top.
it almost tastes like a salted fish gummy.
Oh God.
Right in the chest.
Ah,
Dude, you should not have been allowed to bring that in the U.S.
Yeah, how were you able to bring that home?
Yeah, that,
You bring
that, is,
whatever.
that is contraband. Dude, I was like, oh, black licorice, done. No.
That shows me they don't care either because I had a bunch of this stuffed in the candies everywhere.
Oh, shit.
They're not looking at nothing.
Where are we at with medical marijuana? That ship sailed, right? None of us are get involved in that anymore. That's done.
Well, there's no more margins to get involved
Yeah,
in. Like, it's all
CBD's
tightened
kind of
out.
sailed.
And you know what? I will tell you that there's a big problem, and I've been trying to get a hold of. Like,
Real quick sidebar. You know the
Yeah.
sniffing salts? Like, you
Yeah.
take, yeah. That is the edible version of a sniffing salt.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit
give that to
balls.
old. You got to give that to old.
it wakes you up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
See,
you got to give that to old. What's his name?
They should single pouch those and give them out for kids candy, you know, Halloween.
Aaron Rodgers.
So-
Eat some of those.
Oh my God.
I'm sitting back and I'm looking at the medical marijuana industry, and this partly this is a little bit selfish because I want them to advertise with us, and we did have some sponsors. Like we could push this.
Oh,
and
well, when
I
we
can't
did
get a
have it,
hold
it
of
worked
anybody.
really well, right?
Yeah.
And so no one will advertise with us. But then on the other hand, I see all the Delta 9 companies getting bigger and bigger. Now they're doing Delta 9 seltzers, and they're in Total Wine. I'm a meeting with one next
It's
week.
got to be hurting medical because when I go into my dispensary, because I have my recommendation, it is dead. And
Listen,
it didn't used to be that way.
you
And
know
I
what's-
think people are okay with buying the Delta 9.
Delta 9 does work.
Yeah.
It's not just some snake oil. Like it'll
you're-
get you high. Maybe there's a little bit of difference people can notice, but it's not that big.
You're watching alcohol drastically start
Oh
to
yeah,
decline.
they're suffering.
You know, so people I think are looking for alternatives to, letting loose, if you will, or relaxing, whatever it is. But I mean, we have one of our product lines fits, as a mixer, if you will, drink mixer.
Yeah.
And, you still have, I mean, the age groups definitely still enjoy it, right? Like your Gen Z, and lower is kind of cutting back on it, and they're kicking over to things like those Zyn pouches. My God, dude, those things are skyrocketing. you know?
Yeah.
We need to sell nicotine pouches.
Yeah,
No, brother, dude, good category to be in.
Yeah.
I know.
Good category to be in.
In order to, what I've been doing lately, my new addiction is parkour, but you can't sell
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Is that with or without your pants on?
Naked parkour.
Yeah, I heard naked's really
Yeah,
making
it's
it.
just more fun.
I've been trying to figure out how to sell some type of drugs for years. And I'm like, the money's in the drugs.
Money's in the drugs. Yeah.
You get people, they'll do anything for it.
Oh, dude.
They'll keep buying it no matter what.
I got a buddy who does the vape juices. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, we could do that.
brother.
Does he do the fruity ones?
Yeah, and they are.
Yeah, they're potent.
Yeah, and he prints cash.
Oh, yeah, people love it. You would think that people wouldn't want cotton candy nicotine juice, but they
Yeah.
lust
They
after it.
love it.
They want it so bad.
The problem is that eventually I'll have a warehouse full of this stuff, and then I'll hear DeSantis is coming down. He's got his Axeman out. He's breaking up. And, like, oh my God. And he's like, you're going to federal prison.
I like how you're doing. You're doing like what was that movie?
It's like
Prohibition.
Prohibition.
Yeah. Yeah. He's doing like a movie with Kevin Costner and Robert De Niro.
Oh, the Highwayman or what is
No,
that?
yeah, it is, but it's about
Untouchables.
Yeah. You put one of ours in a hospital, we put one of yours in the morgue.
And they're like, oh, they're gonna axe all my vape juice.
And then the Irish cop walks in and says, what do we have here? 40 gallons of grape vape.
And then
Grape vape.
Let's start to break in the vape barrels, boy.
It just starts blowing out the sides. You know?
all my money's in here.
I feel like we should write an AI movie for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down.
but there is.
That'd be a good movie.
You get into Delta 9, the vape juice, all something like it does run the risk. Tiffany went through this when she was doing in the gummy industry in California. Like they changed one law, and
you're
all of a
done.
sudden, all
Her
your
percentages
products
were different.
Well, like they say, oh, no longer every product has to be tested within 1 milligram of potency or whatever. And you're like, look,
She's like, I can't do that.
Oh, what about all my product? Burn it.
Burn
like
it.
you know,
Yeah.
and so the constant stress of your entire livelihood being taken away because based on one rumor, like laws change. Like
Do you have to burn it, or can you melt it down and feed it to like roadside deer? I feel like you
it's
should
both
be. I feel like you should be allowed to melt it and feed it to roadside deer.
The hunters out there. Why is this?
Did you guys see the deer?
What
in
just
the,
reeks of
You
watermelon?
guys see the deer in the ocean?
Oh, I just saw that.
Yeah.
Before I walked in.
Fireworks.
Hey,
I
man.
think fireworks scared that deer so bad it jumped from the woods into the ocean.
I could swim.
No, he was exhausted. He was dying. The lifeguards had to get out there and save it like Baywatch.
Yeah.
They got video of it.
Swim to the shore, deer.
No, I couldn't.
I've seen
They
deer
couldn't.
swim.
They were like, let it die. It's a pelican. And then somebody was like, I think it's a deer. And then they swam out and they got it.
They say, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you,
Heroic
brave.
story.
Thank you, brave lifeguards, for
Lifeguards.
saving
And
that
it was NSB too, wasn't it?
beautiful deer. Yeah.
NSB had a
And there
packed
were
weekend.
sharks circling too. While they were saving the deer, the sharks are like, we're going to eat that deer.
It's Mother
there's
Nature.
deer. Yeah.
They save it, they put it back out, and hit by a car.
Yeah.
Immediately.
No, they said it laid on the beach for a little while. It ate melted snow cone, and then it walked into the woods.
That was exactly my weekend too.
Yeah.
Same.
You got anything to plug, buddy?
Oh man, we got an exciting week coming up. If you want to follow the journey of our biggest trade show, follow me at the old Real Jesse Wolf.
There you go. Real Jesse Wolf.
Going up to Hotlanta.
Oh, man, I love Atlanta.
Yeah, it's cool.
What are you going to do up there? Just
There's
the trade show?
Yeah, my
and-
family lives outside the city, so I'll see
sweet.
them. Hit up the old trade show, sell a lot of sugar cubes, if you will.
There you
and,
go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll trade show, everybody, all the businessmen party.
Oh, dude,
They
yeah.
start snorting coke.
Is that your dream? Is that your dream to go up there and hobnob? And
Yeah, of course, it's my dream.
I'll get you a couple passes. Come on.
I've heard at the
cheat on our wives.
Oh,
a little bit.
yeah.
Roop used to tell me
I want to do a Righteous Gemstone style cheat session.
The brother, I love that show. Golly.
So good.
the hospitality industry trade show out in Vegas
Oh,
is the biggest party.
Bananas.
He's talked about it and then in certain industries, the paintball trade show, other
Who's
the
playing this
sailboat.
trade show? Who's the entertainment? They always buy good entertainment.
I don't know who is actually doing this one this year.
You
I'll
know
tell
who
you what,
it normally is, and I've seen 6 of these lately. Lady A.
Oh,
That's
nice.
Yeah.
that's usually that hits the insurance
Lady
world.
Adam,
the
nice.
insurance
Yeah.
industry trade show was
You
just
get a-
like 2 weeks ago.
You get a Lady A. Sometimes you get a what is it? Dirk's Bentley.
A Dirks Bentley. Pretty
You
nice.
could get one of those guys.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
Our trade show rocks because it's all food, right? So it's like a big Costco sampling. You just go from booth to booth.
I like
It's
that.
our trade shows are bananas for that. It's cool.
Chat room chiming in says 90% of all cheating happens at trade shows. How many people have gone to trade show, cheated, and then gone home? Still family fine? No problem. I just had to get it out of my
Everybody,
system.
the
Just had
rest
to-
of them.
Yeah, all of them.
I
right?
could see the divorce lawyer billboard right now. Does your spouse attend a trade show?
Yeah.
Cheater!
And
Call us.
it's not only the dudes now either. I don't
Oh,
think
no.
so. I
Hey.
think the ladies, they go to the trade shows, they just run it
It's
hot.
only the disc.
I mean, well, you got to cheat with someone, I guess, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of flavors out there. You know?
I'll cheat with a dude.
I think
there's
the
good-looking dudes out
prostitutes
there.
travel to these things. I think the sex workers travel to the trade shows.
They really do. They really do. Yeah,
They know where the business is.
Yeah, I know where the business. They know where the business is. You know what I mean?
Before we do more harm to Jesse's reputation.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's get out of
The
here.
real Jesse Wolf on all social media. Follow him on TikTok. I do.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Well, I follow very few people on TikTok.
Now-
Jesse
now-
Wolf
You
is one
follow
of
me?
them.
I don't post on there. either.
No. Yeah,
Follow
I just start
for
posting.
Costco content.
There you go.
Yeah. Jesse, thanks so much for
Thanks,
coming by.
guys.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Love you. Bye.
Perfect.
that's
Thank
fine.
you, buddy.
I also grabbed the shit at 23.
Yeah, I
so-
got that one, and then there was another one. There's a one at 36.
Okay.
So we got them.
So you got the 23 one?
Yeah,
okay.
we're good.
Brother, that thing is.
Oh, we're
anthrax.
still on Twitch and YouTube though, just in case.
Absolute anthrax.
What is?
That.
Oh, yeah. The Swedish Devil, yeah. It's me. A lot of the Swedish candies are the black licorice salty. Like that.
Wait,
one,
so do people actually eat those like for
Yeah.
enjoyment?
that one is more of the extreme one
Yeah.
that the older, real Swedish men like. Is like old school. Reminds like I think they used to do probably like this is the candy of the 1930s or something in Sweden. But there's a lot of the regular and grocery